Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. It's a football Friday here on the program. Good morning to everybody listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN FM. And good morning if you're listening on the Fanatic app. As we say good morning to our YouTubers, we're live every morning on YouTube. Subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic. If you don't watch the show on YouTube, make this the day that you say, you know what? Let me go over on YouTube and check these guys out.
I like that.
At 975 The Fanatic. Subscribe, hit the little thumbs up button, and say hello. As we say hello to Ray Dunn. Good morning, Raymond.
Good morning, Johnny. How are you?
We have Eagles seem like that they just can't get out of the news. Yeah, they can't get out of the news. We'll talk about it as we say good morning to Mr. Sean Brace. Hi, Sean.
Oh, my goodness. It's our last football Friday. I can't believe it. Hey, do you guys remember this?
What?
To start the season, the Patriots lost to the Raiders at home.
I don't remember that. The worst team in football, Raiders. It was the number one overall pick.
Like, that hit me yesterday. I saw that in the timeline. I'm like, wow.
So because I'm strange and I listen to sports radio stations all across the country, in particular outside of our station, I like to listen to our sister station up in Boston.
All right.
It's the number one sports station in the country. All of their shows are very
Really?
good.
Are they number one?
Yeah, they have the highest rated ratings by far. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an amazing station, the Sports Hub, 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Credit to them. Nice.
But, so, think about it. Beginning of the season, Vrabel gets hired.
Yep.
And, what's your expectation up there? Not that they're going to the Super Bowl. So, the fans that are calling in and saying, we're going to the Super Bowl, going to the Super Bowl. So, a lot of the hosts are laughing at them and mocking them. And even when they're having early season success, it's like, this team's not going to the Super Bowl. This team's not going to the Super Bowl. But what do you know, Sean? This team's in the Super Bowl.
What do you know? Geno Smith goes for 24 of 34, 362. Of course, had an interception that game, but one touchdown. He was sacked 4 times. Drake May, 30 of 46, 287, a touchdown and an interception in that one. But that is crazy. 20-13 final score on, I had the date. I'm sorry.
So for one game, Pete Carroll was a good hire. Geno Smith was a good trade, and the Patriots were not going to be good.
And Chip Kelly was a hell of a play caller.
Oh, man, yeah. The reason they made him the highest paid offensive coordinator.
That's right.
All right, well, so listen, we have a lot going on the show today. Some 76er stuff to talk about. Obviously, with the trade deadline, Daryl Morey holds his press conference coming up at noon. I'll be and we'll carry it for you in its entirety live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm curious to hear how he handles and maneuvers around, which is fairly obvious that this was a financial move to trade Jared McCain, and does he totally deny that? And so I'll be curious to hear what he has to say. We'll talk about it coming up as well, Sean. It should be interesting to see how Morey tries to spin things.
All right. Well, I want you to think about something then when we get into it. Your one question. If you were down there front and center and you had Morey 1v1, what would be the one question? And he's got to answer it truthfully. And that goes to Ray, too, because Ray's got a great brain when it comes to the game of basketball. He's a very James Naismith type. Calls the game, ESPN Plus.
Got a peach basket at home.
He gets in the paint like none other.
What would I ask him? And he's on a lie detector test?
Yeah.
Let me think about it.
All right, yeah, good.
All right, it's a good question. All right, so I was not expecting Jeff McClain. He comes out with his podcast. I was expecting some Stoutland information, which we'll get to, because the Stoutland, Tim McManus reported on it. He joined Ricky and Bill yesterday. I listened to that interview. And from the start, I didn't have a lot of heavy criticism for the Eagles. I really didn't. If you listen to yesterday's show, it's like, all right, sometimes you got to make tough decisions, and the Eagles made a tough decision. Let's not act like the running game was fine last year, and we want to change on the offense. Guess what? We got to change on the offense. So you can call the Eagles dysfunctional. I don't see it. More on that reporting coming up in a second. But I guess the most interesting thing that came out that I wasn't expecting, Landon Dickerson may not be returning this season. Not only is Jeff McClain saying that, then Mike Garafolo, NFL Network, who's very plugged in with the Eagles, he follows up on the report and says he's hearing similar things. We don't know if Lane Johnson's definitely coming back. Again, I come out and say I'd be shocked if Lane retires, and then news comes out that maybe he's not coming back 100%. But there's a lot going on right now with the Eagles. And the Landon Dickerson stuff, I mean, I guess it makes sense. he was so banged up last year. I actually talked about it yesterday. One of my takes that I was wrong, I think it was yesterday, Ray. One of my takes that I was wrong, I was so mad after they drafted Landon Dickerson because the guy had multiple ACL injuries. He had multiple injuries in college. You're drafting a guy that's never been healthy. And then he was healthy for the most part to start. He was a mauler. He's a Pro Bowler. He's an All-Pro. And then he has not been healthy. And I guess he had said some things at the end of the season, like, are you going to be okay? And he's like, I don't really know. And when you get to a point like that and you've made a lot of money, not every player is going to play until they can't walk anymore. And if he struggled that much with injuries over the last 2 seasons, over the last season and a half, there's a real chance Landon Dickerson doesn't play anymore, Sean Brace.
Dickerson in March of 2024 signed a 4-year, $84 million extension that has him under contract through the 2028 season. His APY, what does that stand for? Any idea? APY?
APY?
Yeah.
Of 21 percentage yield? Well, that's not what it means.
$21 million makes him the 4th highest paid guard in the NFL. Here's what I would say, John, is I'm not trying to panic, right? It's the end of the season. How many players, if we were to poll them, or if we were to go up to them, truth serum, like we just talked about with Daryl Morey, hey, man, you thinking about retiring? It's the end of the year. You just went through that gauntlet. Hell, the season that they had, the way it ended, especially him, he was banged up.
Didn't he have knee surgery in training camp, and he battled through it, and he played? He's a warrior.
Correct. So I would say a lot of these guys at that point in time would be like, man, that does sound good. But then they get the itch, and then all of a sudden, you're starting to focus on the next year, the draft, and Howie with camps, and you want to be back with your boys. I mean, he's young. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm not trying to panic right here, right now. But if this does happen, if this comes to fruition, and now you're adding another piece to the puzzle of the unknown, because they're going to have to replace. They're not bringing A.J. Brown back. Like, we can't sit here and say that we can.
It seems unlikely that A.J. Brown's coming.
I'm going to approach from here on out when I talk on this microphone with you. A.J. Brown will be moving on. They will move A.J. Brown. That is a huge deal.
And he spoke. He was on the Dude on Dude podcast. That's the name of it, right? I didn't name it that. They did.
Oh my good! Is it really the name?
I think it's Dude on Dude.
Edelman and Rob Gronkowski do a podcast together, which they probably have about 4 episodes this whole year. Dude on Dude.
Dudes on Dudes.
Dudes on Dudes.
Right.
Even better. Plural. I would just say, my wife would love it. I'm telling you, we were talking about it last night.
He likes the hockey show.
She loves it. And apparently the guy that we were discussing, the Bachelor,
right,
is also a gay man. And she was like, oh, I love him too.
That's correct.
Yeah, I didn't know this. All right, so I'm learning
a lot of the guys on the feet list were gay. Yes.
Nice, okay. Right. Back to the Eagles issues, and that's where I'm at, guys, is there is already a lot of unknown, a lot of change, and this is going to be a huge pressure cooker for Sean Mannion and, of course, Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Landon Dickerson, uncertain future. There's no certainty he returns. Lane Johnson not locked to come back. Do we have Jeff McClain talking about it? Here's Jeff McClain on his Uncovering the Birds podcast.
I keep leaning that he will be back for a last season. Landon Dickerson may be even more of a question mark to me.
Wow. That's wild.
Oh, it's already over. Sorry. Ray was in my ear.
Oh, okay.
So he started talking about Lane, and he said he believes Lane is going to be back for one more season. But then he said there's uncertainty with Landon Dickerson. I know.
This is the first. This is the first of Landon Dickerson for me.
Well, he's 27.
Correct.
And you don't know where anybody's head's at. If he's in that much pain and he's worried about his future, right? We talk about it all the time. When a coach loses his job and they can sit on their butt and not coach anymore and they have tens of millions of dollars and they take a job the next year, it's like, well, why would you do that? We always say, I wouldn't work again. I would, maybe do something or do this or do that. I wouldn't work. I'd have all that money. Maybe Landon Dickerson's like us, where he says, I've made a lot of money. I can live off the rest of my life for this money, make some good investments. I want to be able to walk when I'm 35 years old.
That, and he plays the position, right? If there's a position that concerns you in the NFL, it's when you are constantly butting heads, play after play, snap after snap. And it's the offensive line. It's the defensive line, too, but it's the offensive line because those guys don't rotate in and out. So I get it. The CTE is a real deal. You've seen it. It's definitely concerning. He's a family man. He's made a ton of money. won a Super Bowl, right? Like, life is good for Landon Dickerson. So, again,
And I think it's more than CTE. This is like
this is
his
body.
knees.
Yeah, he's shot. Yeah. So, and he's not playing probably up to the level that he is satisfied with, and that's really something that would affect you.
Here's more on Lane Johnson, Jeff McClain. Here it is.
Now, in terms of Lane and his future, here's what I can say. He's definitely not sure if he's coming back or not. Is the impression that I get, and you would think that maybe this would make it a little less likely. It could take, the Eagles. It could take the Eagles basically, showing them how much he means to them for him to be back for another season.
So giving him a raise after he missed a lot of the season, like I mean, it's not like he's making $10 million a year. He's not making peanuts. He's made $30+ million a year the last couple of years.
Like I said, that contract extension is nice. It's a big number, big round number, as they say.
But maybe that's what they have to do. So here's where I am right now, and now you have a new offensive coordinator coming in. You have a new offense that you're gonna be installing. You have A.J. Brown, who I just think is unlikely to come back.
Yeah.
Does this mean that we're looking at a drop-off season? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say I think the Eagles are going to miss the playoffs. I don't believe that.
No.
Howie's not going to sit there and just say, okay, we're not going to be as good this year. He's going to have work to do, and we've seen him do plenty of work before. But, man, if you're talking about potentially you're losing 40% of your offensive line and Cam Jurgens, did the tush-push literally ruin the team? Ray? Did the tush-push, look at Landon Dickerson has been beat up since the season. Mailata wasn't the same player last year. I was told Mailata, but he was hobbling around all season last year. Cam Jurgens looked like a turnstile. Lane Johnson hasn't been healthy. The guy that went to San Diego or went to the Chargers, he sucked all year long. Mekhi Becton, he sucked all year long.
Yeah, he did.
Did the tush-push season take the career out of all these players?
Would you like me to send this to Troy Vincent? This audio goes directly to the NFL league offices, health and safety. Now it has to be banned.
I'm ready to ban the tush push. I'm officially out on the tush push.
Yeah, but at the same time, it brought what? A Super Bowl championship.
A championship. I kid. I'm saying it tongue in cheek.
But, that's the thing. Like, did we make a deal with the devil a little bit here? At least this is better than tanking with the 76ers.
It's better than the Sixers.
They were selling us.
Yes, the Sixers never won anything.
And, by the way, I never signed off on that, but damn it, they had me.
So here's the question for the text line, for the phone line, 610-632-0975, for the YouTube chat, and for you guys. We don't know what they're going to do in the offseason. We don't know exactly who's going to do. We don't know all the details just yet. It certainly seems like that Landon Dickerson might come back. Are we facing maybe a drop-off season this year? I don't necessarily look at it like that because you can lose players. You got to replace them. Howie does an amazing job of doing that, but I think you'd be naive to think that, if the floor is 11 wins, maybe the floor's 10 wins now?
Well, I think there's one move, or let's just say one person that steps back and says they're out, that would really change my thought on it. And we talked about it the other day, and you kind of jumped at me. You're like, I don't think so. I don't think that they take a step back if Vic Fangio retires. Now, he's not. He's coming back. That's reported. We're going to roll with that. But I thought, look, if no Vic, that's where it all falls apart because the defense was the backbone of the operation this year. It wasn't the run game like it was the previous season. So if you remove Vic Fangio with his players, you're going to have to change up a whole lot. Who's coming in? What type of system? Are they going to get their linebackers, so on and so forth? I get you have Quinyon and Coop. That's a great starting point, but at the end of the day, that's a big ask. And teams don't win forever. They just don't. Like that era is over. I get it. Belichick, Brady, they were great. No doubt about it. Not first ballot Hall of Fame great, though.
No.
I just would say it's hard to repeat, hard to stay on top. We've seen it. And I think right now with all these changes, John, we could be staring at potentially a drop-off this upcoming season, especially if the division gets better. That's where we have to look. Are the Cowboys going to be better? Are the Giants going to be better? Are the Commanders going to be better?
Well, the Eagles are also still playing a first-place schedule. So it's not like that they're not going to be facing a difficult schedule when you take a step back. Normally you take a step back, it's like, okay, the Eagles took a step back this year and they still won the division, which is crazy to think. All right, so there's that, and there's also more reporting on the Stoutland situation. Jeff McClain got into it, and he shared some interesting reporting on what was going on behind the scenes with the Eagles. Listen.
think there were also in turn frustrations from the Eagles, and not only from the coaches, but from what I understand, some of the players. And you get that from time to time, players with coaches. But this is the first time that I kind of started getting the murmurs about some frustration with Stout this year. And I think the players, the offensive linemen, wanted more under center stuff too, because it makes it really easier on them. And so I think there was just that conflict there, and it was kind of boiling, and it got to that point. Now, that being said, I don't think any of the offensive linemen wanted Stoutland out.
Right. So McClain's essentially saying that, what was it, week 6 is when the Eagles were really struggling offensively, and so that's when Sirianni and Patullo got more involved in the running game, and the complaints were, I mean, what did every fan say about this offense when they couldn't run the ball? What were we saying, Ray? You were with me?
Get under center.
Get under center. What are you doing? Line up under center. Look at the success you have under center. When Juergens went out and Toth came in, they started lining up under center more.
Yep.
Or was that also the fact that Sirianni and Patullo were now involved more in the running game? But they started lining up under center more, and they were having more success. And what we're learning is through Jeff McClain, and by the way, with Jeff McClain, I don't think I have to worry like a lot of these insiders that he's being fed information by the team without vetting it or having other sources. Because when he says there's other players, something tells me that he's heard from people other than the Eagles feeding him a story.
He's connected. He's been doing it for a long time. He keeps his head down. If you look at his social media, he doesn't follow anybody. Like, this is his gig. And something Kelsey said, I think, a couple weeks ago about McClain that really opened my eyes. Like, okay, yeah, I could see it. There's always some skepticism with some of these guys, as much as I like them. I always wonder, if they're putting a little something extra juice in their words. At the end of the day, we all want people to read.
Right.
McClain seems like, hey, man, this is what you get. I'm writing for the Inquirer. If you don't like it, sorry.
Well, McClain also will roast the team. So it's not like that.
That's true, too.
That he's positive on the team and he's taking the propaganda. I know plenty of people out there that whatever the team says, it's just like, well, this is the way it is.
Copy and paste, baby.
It's like, well, is that the way it is? Did you vet this? Did you speak with other sources? So if McClain says that, and I think he explained it perfectly, those offensive linemen can love Jeff Stoutland and think he's the best coach he's ever had, and also say, what the hell is he doing? Why is he being so stubborn? Just like when teams defensive coordinators make adjustments to what Jalen Hurts is doing and what they're doing in the passing game, guess what else they're doing? Making adjustments to what the Eagles are doing in the running game. If they run for 2,000 yards in a season, you think they're just going to allow them to do the exact same thing? So it wouldn't surprise me at all if some players were saying, what are we doing? And then that's when they started lining up under center more.
Tell you what, John, I felt really bad for Jordan Mailata yesterday. He had to answer a Stoutland question at least 100 times. I would, if I was his PR, and we always talk about this, if I was his handler, I would have put something around his neck. Just like, I'm sad, I miss Stout, I wish him the best. Like, and just hold it up.
Right.
Like we were doing foot in 49. That's it.
Or just not go to the Super Bowl.
He was pushing. He was doing something. He's got some big deal. He's got a Pepsi singing.
Sure.
I think he's got a Super Bowl commercial.
Does he?
They were filming it in the middle of a busy street. They had like a big people. It was Bijan Robinson. He's singing.
Oh, he's a big star. Yeah,
he's a star.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, so you're gonna have to answer the question. But to your point, he was just so.
He said he cried.
He was upset. Yeah,
said he cried.
Yeah, it's tough on him. So do we have
He also has the New Heights party. You got to go to the New Heights Super Bowl party.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you what, that party looked good. Travis was on the microphone.
I know, darn. Wish I could have been out there to go to it.
Did you go to any Super Bowl parties when you were out there?
In Minnesota, I went to Shaq DJ'd. It was promoted as Shaq was DJing.
Sure.
He was there for about 5 minutes, and then he left.
Okay.
But Shaq was DJing. It was Jamie Foxx's party, I think.
Look at you. Blame it on the alcohol.
There was, like, I don't know, 250 people there, and there was thousands of bags of McDonald's. Big Macs, cheeseburgers, French fries, like literally just in the bag, and you would go up and look at a bag, and there'd be a bag of McDonald's that you get it, and you look in, and there's fries and burgers. And
Tell you what,
it was awesome.
You get one of those bags to go after the party? It's not a bad deal.
I didn't need anything to take home.
I like that.
You know what the problem was? I was working all day, and then I charged my phone, but I didn't charge it all the way. And I was going right from the Mall of America out to these parties, and I was trying to get an Uber, and the Uber thing was a mess. it drained almost my entire battery and I didn't even get an Uber.
Ooh.
And it drained like my entire battery. So my phone was dead. I had to take a cab to this party, not even an Uber because I couldn't get an Uber. I had to take a cab. I was meeting up with people. I had no idea really where I was going. I had no phone.
That's always fun.
Yeah. All right, 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. I would say this. I felt strongly about this yesterday, and I feel even stronger today. The whole Stoutland situation, the handling by Nick Sirianni and the Eagles, I don't find fault. Maybe they could have communicated better. Who knows? I've seen nothing that says they didn't communicate properly. I just don't think Jeff Stoutland agreed with what they were doing, was essentially saying, you're wrong, and we're going to do something else. Tim McManus joined the guys yesterday afternoon. He gave his impression on how everything went down. We have that for you coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Deadline passed. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The NBA trade deadline was yesterday, and the 76ers made 2 deals ahead of the deadline this week. Yesterday, they dealt Eric Gordon to Memphis just one day after trading Jared McCain to the Thunder for a first and 3 second-round picks. Tyrese Maxey was asked prior to the game in L.A. last night about his feelings on the McCain trade.
Yeah, man, it's part of the business, number one. And then number two, man, it's just sad, man. Like, little brother to me, dog. Like, kind of like the first real rook, I guess, Ricky Vick.
Daryl Morey will speak to the media coming up at noon about the trade deadline. We'll carry that live for you right here on The Fanatic. Sixers lost to the Lakers last night out in L.A. It's Super Bowl week. Plenty of Eagles out there and plenty of information coming from Radio Row. Jeff McClain reporting that both Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson not necessarily certain to come back next season, but no final word on whether or not they will be or will not be back next season. We'll get Mike Gill to check in with us at 1 o'clock from Radio Row. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call 24-hour victim helpline 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, Best Birds Talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Days Marks, John Marks, Sean Brace, Raymond Dunn.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, we got to break down the Super Bowl, right?
Can't wait.
Let's start with the linebacking core. Who's got the thumbs up, thumbs down, Ray?
Oh, man. This one, probably going with the Seahawks.
Yeah. Patriots have a good defense, though.
Oh, yeah.
Seahawks have a great defense. Patriots have a good defense, including Milton Williams. Who would have thought Milton Williams leaves the Eagles and goes back to the Super Bowl?
So on PTI, 5 good minutes with Troy Aikman yesterday, one of the questions, they only get 5 questions essentially, was how do you stop Milton Williams?
Really?
Think about that. He is the I mean, yeah, if you watched and you paid attention this year, he was injured for a long time. Don't get me wrong.
He went on.
But he was an absolute beast and just stopping him as far as the run game is concerned.
What is Jalen Carter or Milton Williams merchant?
Oh, that's a good take.
I mean,
save it for Take Tuesday.
We got to ask the question.
I'll tell you what, I was rewatching the Super Bowl as we're going to have a couple hits played a little bit later here, Johnny. And yeah, Milton Williams made a name for himself in that bad boy. That's for sure.
Sure did. All right, we'll talk more about the game coming up. Tim McManus joined Ricky and Bill yesterday. He's talking about the Stoutland situation. Here's Tim.
Sirianni is the head coach. He has an offensive background. He saw that the offense was flailing, and he stepped in. And I think that you can understand and you can respect that. That doesn't mean that it had to have this outcome. Because, like, if I step back and look at it, and it's like, okay, the offense isn't working. You know, what do we know? And if we're going coach by coach, it's like, all right, which coach, do I have the most faith in that he knows what he's doing and needs to be empowered in this situation to help get things right? The first person I go to is Jeff Stoutland. So what ended up happening with him feeling marginalized is the exact opposite of what you needed in that moment.
All right, well, that's Tim. I don't know. Didn't it seem like because Stoutland had been here through 3 head coaches, it's almost like that. Not that he doesn't work for Nick Sirianni, but he works for the Eagles. He works for Howie Roseman, right? Like there's a different relationship with Stoutland than with the quarterback's coach or the offensive coordinator or whatever. Right? Like Tim said it yesterday during the interview. I listened. He said that we're talking about one of the best coaches in the history of Philadelphia. I mean, bottom line, straight up, like the Eagles won 2 Super Bowls, and Jeff Stoutland and that offensive line, they were strengths of the team on both teams.
Yep.
So, how did it exactly unfold without knowing exactly what the communication level was, or if the head coach goes to a guy like Jeff Stoutland, who unquestioned, he's an Eagles Hall of Famer, he's one of the best coaches in the game, all that stuff, and is he going to be open to changes? Is he going to be resistant to changes because this is what he does? I mean, I think if we're being objective and honest, could he have been resistant to changes? Yeah, of course he could. So I don't know what happened. Here's the bottom line. Wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was because of injury. I never blamed Jeff Stoutland because the running game wasn't working. But there were injuries on the offensive line. So at some point, if things aren't working and changes aren't being made, what are you going to do if you're Nick Sirianni? Just continue to do the same thing over and over again?
Yeah, a couple things. I would say, number one, Sirianni isn't doing that, making that change by himself. I'm sure Howie signed off on it, right? Fair. Also, I always think about this in the scope of, like, ego. Like, these guys all have egos. These guys are all professionals. These guys are head coaches. So I ask, like, is there a chance Nick Sirianni was sick and tired of hearing about Stoutland U? And let me follow up by saying this. Is there a chance that Stoutland was like, no, man, you're not going to tell me what to do?
Of course.
Yeah. I would almost say that, like, does Sirianni have an ego to that? He does. We know he does.
Well, he's the head coach.
Hell yeah.
And no one gives him credit for anything.
Correct.
And Stoutland.
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
Stoutland U. Right. We play all that. And it's funny. That's why we play it.
Yes.
But he's got to be doing something, right?
Oh, he definitely is. It's just, I would imagine that probably rubs you the wrong way, hearing it every single time. And even more so this week, in the last 48 hours, we've heard that, like, yeah, he's probably more of a piece of that Super Bowl championship than Nick Sirianni was. And, man, that would really irk me. But it all comes down to it was not working, and changes needed to be made on the offensive side of the ball. And Sirianni did what he needed to do. I texted you before the show yesterday. I said, I'm not a Sirianni guy, and I don't mind kicking a man when he's down, having some fun.
But it
poking
has
at
to
him.
be justified.
Yeah, not this case. Like I got to stick up for Nick Sirianni. There are points to be made for Stoutland. I'm not here to argue that because you don't forget how to coach in 1 year. This guy is true and true battle tested. But damn it, I think Sirianni did what was needed to be done, and I'm having a hard time, saying that he's at fault here.
Right. And Jeff Stoutland, this is an organizational thing. This just isn't Nick Sirianni, right? Like Nick Sirianni, everything flows through the top. So this isn't Howie and Jeffrey Lurie saying like, oh, whatever you want to do, Nick, this is fine. No, this is an organizational type thing. And they wanted Stoutland to come back. It was just going to be as the offensive line coach. He could have done that. But he views it as a demotion, and he wants to go somewhere else, which, by the way, is fine. Change is good. Change can be good in life. Like, he's been here 13 years. Yeah.
I feel refreshed. It might not be the first door that you knock on, but I'll tell you what, you don't know what's behind that next door and that next door. I just went through change, man. Now, you went through change, and it's not something that we all wanted, but it is something that, you know what, you never know. And you wouldn't know unless you had to go through that change.
Yep. So
That's deep thoughts on a Friday, baby.
I will continue not to call the Eagles dysfunctional and not to rip the organization and not to take shots at Nick Sirianni over this Jeff Stoutland stuff because I don't think it's warranted or justified.
No.
But I saw so many people yesterday, and I got a bunch of people that DM'd me and said that, they didn't communicate it with Jeff Stoutland. That was never reported. It was that they didn't communicate to his liking. And you know how they would have communicated to his liking? If they wouldn't have taken his job title away, if they didn't take his responsibilities away. Because they were trying to fix things on the fly. The problem is you had the offensive coordinator, and he was involved in it. If they would have got rid of the offensive coordinator, I don't think I don't think it's as much of an issue. But the fact that they stood by Patullo, and it was painfully obvious that he was struggling, and they went in and they took some of Stoutland's job responsibilities. Again, the fact that Jeff McClain's coming out and saying there were players that were frustrated with what they were doing as well running, it should tell you a lot.
You think Ray's ever been fired before? Ray, have you ever been through change?
Have I been through change?
Yeah.
Been sitting in this chair quite a while, so yeah, I've seen quite a few changes. I've been working here a bit.
Have you been fired?
No.
From a job? Never? Well, of course not.
Why would you ask me that on Friday?
Well, the boss isn't here, so you're not getting the...
Didn't think the boss was here last time around.
And
I found out.
Most of the time, they don't allow you to come to work. Most of the time.
So why are you asking him if he's ever been fired?
Well, I was just wondering because you go through change. It's a good conversation, right? And I think it builds character, right? Not to say that everybody should get fired. You don't want to get fired in life.
But when you do, you make the best of it.
You find a little something about you,
and you realize it's done for a reason.
Yeah, and it's not. Look, you take it personal for that first day, maybe a week later. But then you start to see what's on the other side, and you grow, and you build some character, and then you prove your worth.
Yep, and it better work.
Damn right.
With the Eagles.
Oh,
because they got.
I thought you meant here.
Well,
I was going to say,
of course, of course.
Is there some sort of hidden meeting here? Should I start packing?
But it's also that he. Yeah, they didn't want him to leave. It's not like that they wanted Stoutland to leave. But they just were going in a different direction with their offense.
But at the same time, again, we saw this on the media or on the timeline with Jeff Schwartz. You're seeing it with the pundits, of course, with Jeff Saturday. You better get this right. If you force Jeff Stoutland out, no matter which way it went down, if you forced that type of guy out, you better get it right. We'll see.
Yep. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. We're trying to find out if A.J. Brown is that the episode with the Dudes on Dudes is going to come out today.
Dudes on Dudes.
Is it? I mean, you would think that they would want to put it out sooner than later. They recorded it yesterday. Like, wouldn't they want it out? Like, now it's already a Friday. You don't want to get things lost in the shuffle. And selfishly, I want to know what he says. Because I went to the Dudes on Dudes Instagram page to see if they had any like details or insights. And they don't, other than they took a picture with him. And then every comment after that are Patriots fans because they're two former Patriots hosting it. Oh, AJ, welcome to New England. Oh, here's New England's best wide receiver of all time. And Is that what we're looking at? Does he do the Dudes on Dudes because he wants to stir the pot?
He definitely loves to stir the pot. AJ knows what he's doing. He's connected. He could play that game all he wants, but he knows. He pays attention to what's being said and what's on the timeline. That could be the case.
Well, just get it out. I want to hear what he says.
Yeah.
We want to play it.
Yeah.
Right, Ray?
They not have like a scheduled release time?
They also did.
It's Gronk. Hopefully, he showed up on time.
But they also have people producing it. He's not. Gronk's not editing the video down and then putting it out there.
Gronk doing the content schedule.
Yeah. They also had Jason Kelsey on, and the only thing that they said was that the new episode's being released soon. Okay, you're kind of running out of time. The Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, you can't put out Radio Row content post Super Bowl.
No.
Or
There's rules to the game.
the Super Bowl stinks, and on Monday morning it's AJ
No.
Brown requesting a trade on your podcast.
Well, all right, I take it back. You're right. That would be good.
I want to be a Patriot. All right, well, that game doesn't seem so important anymore.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, you got me there.
All right, coming up, a texter points out the amount of pressure on Howie Roseman this offseason. What level of blind faith exists? We also are going to start talking about the Sixers. Daryl Morey has a press conference coming up at 12 o'clock today to discuss the trade deadline and the season going forward. We'll carry it for you live coming up here. And what's the one question you would ask Daryl Morey? That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about it. We keep talking about the big game. Let's talk about the big game. And when I'm saying talking about the big game, who do you like in the game? Seattle remains 4.5-point favorites. That line really hasn't moved. Not even a little bit. Over under 45.5. I saw the first half line and the first half over under. So there's a lot of different things to do out there, but that's what makes the BetParks app so good is that you have it all from props, coin toss, player performance, all that stuff. And right now with the BetParks app, check it out. The big game, when you bet $25 on the big game, you could win season tickets to the Birds. It's called the Big Game Season Ticket Giveaway from BetParks. The BetParks Sportsbook app has you covered with everything for the big game. So all new and existing BetParks customers earn one entry to win season tickets on every $25 they bet on the big game. Your big game wagers get you entries. So let's say you were to wager 100. That's 4 entries. Let's say you wagered 1,000. That's 40 entries. All right? And one lucky fan is going to win 2027 season tickets to the Birds. Yes, $25 wager gets you registered to win it. And BetParks users across all states randomly are drawn to receive BetParks bonus bets and one grand prize winner for the tickets. Terms and conditions apply. See BetParks.com. You must be 21 and located in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Flyers have hit some
Marks. Mike Gill's going to join us live from Radio Row around 1 o'clock today.
Nice.
Yeah. What time are we doing your top 5 plays, Sean?
We got to come up with a time. I would think Ray?
How about 11:30?
Yeah, but you got to do it before Maury because Daryl Morey talks at 12. We don't know how long that's going to go.
Let's get some Super Bowl flavor going for 11:30.
We'll do 11:30.
You'll like
for
it.
sure. All right, give me the text message that you're asking about the pressure on Howie.
Howie has a huge job this offseason. If you add needing to fill 2 starting offensive line spots to wide receiver, corner, defensive line depth, tight end, and maybe safety, you could need 6 to 7 starters and about 10 to 12 new guys when you add depth pieces, maybe even a new kicker.
All right. Yeah, I feel like he's under pressure every year, though.
Yeah.
Howie. It's just some years he has more moves to make than others. We don't know if Lane Johnson's retiring. I mean, if nothing else, it's time to start drafting some offensive linemen in this draft.
Well, and that goes to the question now without Stoutland. There was a pretty solid understanding from all of us. Just draft the guy. You got Stoutland here, he'll mold him. And sure, for every Andre Dillard you had, you probably had 2 Pro Bowlers. And that was a really good thing that you saw within this offensive line. Yep. Now, drafting guys, are you going to feel as comfortable that, oh, yeah, they'll just develop him? Like the blind faith was there with Stoutland, with this fan base. I don't necessarily think you get that benefit of the doubt by drafting an offensive lineman now and being like, oh, yeah, they'll just put him through the system and the Eagles are going to be great in the trenches.
Yeah, no, I think it's actually a really good point because the pressure is from that is that, Stoutland, I can maybe say that, well, everybody wanted change. We needed to modernize the offense. Jeff Stoutland doesn't run doesn't have experience in that type of an offense that they're bringing in. So how could he be the run game coordinator? Blah 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 blah. But however you manage to handle this, he's no longer here. And before you could count on drafting a guy, Tyler Steen slid into being a starter. I don't know if Tyler Steen's that type of a player. I don't think he was necessarily bad or great. He was fine. But Becton comes in after being a disappointment his entire career, and he slides to guard, and he develops into a Pro Bowl caliber player. All these young guys have come in have done it. How much of that is the player? How much of that is Jeff Stoutland? I think everybody would agree Jeff Stoutland's the biggest part of it. He's a huge part of developing these guys. I don't know we even know who the offensive line coach is going to be. Can he develop young players coming in? I don't know that. So it is a risk in, not that the Eagles didn't want him back because they did, but forcing the hand and saying you're not doing this, not giving him enough responsibility or not appeasing him enough to where at least with Stoutland here, you knew that you could count on the line was going to be good. Last year, again, I thought it was injuries. I never blamed Jeff Stoutland for it. These guys were banged up.
Correct.
But they're going to now have to likely draft Lane Johnson's replacement and draft. I mean, if Cam Jurgens keeps playing like he played last year, he's not going to be here very long. Landon Dickerson may not return next year.
I think you could still blame health if 40% of your offensive line retires and the other
Agreed.
40% is Cam Jurgens and Jordan Mailata.
But Stoutland, you're right with the blind faith. You were going to be fine with Stoutland because he had guys that could slide in. He would develop young guys. If you were drafting somebody, you knew he was going to develop. Now, he can't make chicken salad out of chicken bleep, the Kenyon Green guy they traded for.
Yeah.
There's no one developing him into anything good. But still, his track record is his track record. He did an amazing job here for a really long time. Now you don't know.
You know what? Nothing gets my juices going more than talking offensive line when it comes to the NFL draft. Oh, man.
Is that where you go?
I could do it for days.
Well, why don't we make you the official
I'm playing.
NFL offensive lineman?
I love the draft, but when you start talking about offensive linemen, that's kind of like where I'm at.
Well, isn't it really like the amount of pressure Howie Roseman's under? Because I believe he's under pressure every year.
Sure.
And maybe he has more things to do this year. He's got to figure out A.J. Brown.
Yep.
If he's going to move on from A.J. Brown, he's got to get as much as you can get for him. You got to replace A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. No doubt about it. They also have to hit this draft. When you look at last year's draft, it's very much Who's the one? I mean, Jahad Campbell, first-round pick. He looked good.
Yeah.
It looked like a good pick. Outside of that, what you got? Makuba?
Who he had moments. I just don't know if I'm really going to put my name on the dotted line on that one. We'll see.
But I'm also not writing him off.
No.
But
you have to be realistic when it comes to drafts, and I think Howie's been hitting it at a higher rate than most in these years. So, a little bit of a step back last year, maybe. I have confidence. And that was what we discussed in pre-show, where it's like, okay, I have confidence in Howie, but man, how much is too much? Like, if we're talking about all of these changes, oh, by the way, you still have Nick Sirianni in the back of your mind. Like, if things don't go right, you know where all the blame's going to be pointed and steered.
Are we in a debate?
Now you got to start thinking along that as well. Like,
There's a lot going on.
oh, ton.
Yeah, and the other thing is that Howie said this at the end of the season at the press conference, and he's right. You're not going to win every year. Not that you're not trying, and not that you're not disappointed when you don't, but you know it's impossible to win a Super Bowl every year.
Correct.
Back-to-back years and whatever. So, and last year was one of those cases where it was like still had a good season. They had a good club, but they didn't win. But how did Eagles fans handle after coming off of a Super Bowl and winning the division and losing in the first round? Ray, how did we handle that? Were we okay? Did we say, well, they won the Super Bowl last year. They had a lot of injuries. I can understand it was difficult to get back there this year. Was that the reaction?
No, I think we tried to fire everyone and move on from the quarterback.
Right? So what happens next year if Howie realizes, man, because you can't try to build every year, go all in to try to win a Super Bowl that year. You have to be mindful of not making bad mistakes that can hurt you.
Yeah.
So if next year they make the playoffs, but maybe they only win one playoff game, is one playoff win next year going to appease the fan base?
Yeah, I would say no.
Yeah, I would
say no.
There you go, Donovan. Let me put this out there. It would be nice for Mr. Landon Dickerson and his do-it-yourself wife. They have a wonderful Instagram page here that is just recently posted on January 17th. It looks like a sponsorship there, and they look like a lovely couple. Hey, Landon, it would be great if there's no truth to this for you to maybe give us a little post, a little something on the stories like, hey, I'll be back. You know, I just throw us a bone as far as Eagles fans are concerned.
But he's not there. I mean, that's pretty clear. He's not there. When McClain reports that and Garofalo says, I've heard some of the same things, and then you look at some of his comments, what you said, I believe, is what's going to end up happening. After a long season where you've been banged up and you're physically in pain, mentally it's been a long year, the offensive line was getting ripped, you're getting criticized, guys are losing jobs, Stoutland leaves, the whole offensive, there's a big turnover on coaches on the offense.
Yep.
You're so mentally fatigued, and I wondered if this is where Vic was at the end of the season. He's one of these guys that by the end of a season, he's just spent.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where you consider the stuff. I think that's where Landon Dick. I believe you're right. That's where Landon Dickerson is right now.
To add to this, though, the audio stinks. So we're not going to bother playing it for you because it's locker room audio that's awful. At the end of the season, they asked him if he thought he could get back to being the player that he was. If I had an answer, I'd tell you. Didn't sound like a guy that was very confident that he was going to be able to overcome what he'd been going through.
You know when you're not good. You know when you're not playing good, whether it's because you're banged up or not. You know it.
Could have used a Paul George answer. Drugs. Maybe drugs. Maybe.
Hey,
do it yourself projects. You ever fixed anything with your wife around the house? Teamed up, head to head, you know?
No.
Dude, Kelly's no joke. She does all this stuff. Like, she'll grab the hammer, just be like, get out of my way.
Yeah, that's how it is with me, too. I'm incapable of doing it. I try and she gets annoyed. She wants me to try, but then she gets annoyed when I try. I did the toilet flapper. I figured it out. I diagnosed it. I went and bought the part. I came back and I fixed it.
I'll fix it, and then it'll have an issue like a week later.
No issues. It's been a couple
nice.
months. No issues. I was proud.
Put it on the resume.
I do have a 55-inch TV that I got for her birthday. Well, no.
It's like, damn, you hung a TV?
No,
that's next level.
But I have it, and I'm going to need my dad because we want to run the electric to where there's an outlet behind the TV on the wall, not down, so the cord's not hanging.
Okay.
I obviously can't do that. But could I do the bracket and hang it? Unlikely.
Yeah, I don't trust myself.
No, in fact, not only unlikely, impossible.
Yeah, no. I'm dialing
But
up.
I need to do that soon. And my dad's in his 70s, and I'm relying on him to do all this stuff.
I'm in the market for a new TV.
You are?
Oh, yeah.
Couple $100.
Big dog style. I was at Costco. I sent you the picture.
Yep.
Looking at an 85-incher, dog.
That's too big.
No, I'm telling you right now, we got the space for it.
You do?
You have to see it. Oh.
No, I saw one at Best Buy. I saw a 90-inch one at Best Buy.
The big thing is now it's the quad box.
Yeah.
Right? That's YouTube TV. So it's like, I need a bigger TV because of that.
All right, coming up, we'll get to your Eagles phone calls as well. Chris, we'll start with you on the other side. Also, the 76ers successfully ducked the tax. Let's hang a banner. Plus, we'll play Tyrese Maxey's reaction to the Jared McCain trade. It's very sad. That's all coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Deadline gone by. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by Uber Eats. Philly, you hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Chickies and Pete's from now until February 15th. Spend $30 to get 6 wings free on the app. Order now only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See app for details. NBA trade deadline came and went. 76ers, 2 deals this week ahead of it. Eric Gordon going to Memphis yesterday, and 2 days ago, Jared McCain going to OKC. Here's Tyrese Maxey reacting to McCain's trade.
Yeah, man, it's part of the business, number one. And then number two, man, it's just sad, man. Like, little brother to me, dog. Like, kind of like the first real rook, I guess, Ricky Betts.
We'll have Daryl Morey's presser for you live at noon as he speaks to the media following the deadline. The Sixers and Flyers both lost it last night. Flyers losing an OT to the Senators. Sixers losing to the Lakers. And Super Bowl week continues out in Santa Clara. We'll have Mike Gill check in with us at 1 o'clock about everything going on Radio Row. This update's also brought to you by True Green. True Green, stop doing it yourself and get a golf course quality lawn the easy way from the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. Sign up today at truegreen.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, best birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Who I'm not like. Yesterday I started. We'll get to it in a second. But yesterday I started being like, all right, now I can't totally blame Josh Harris because is this really the only way they could have come up with the financial cap space and money by moving Jared McCain for draft picks? So we'll talk about that coming up in a second. But it's a financial thing. I mean, this is. I'll be curious to hear how Morey tries to avoid it being about the owner. You still work for the owner, even if you made the trade because of finances. I don't know if you necessarily want to call out the owner. Like, hey, well, we would like to keep McCain, but we had to move salary because of luxury tax, so we moved him.
Yeah. I heard John Kincade earlier talk about the numbers that, look, if you make the playoffs, all you do is go one home game at home, obviously a home playoff game, you make that money back. You go to the next round, now you're making money. So, and Connor Thomas, shame on him, he was sticking up for the billionaires. What's up with that? What's up with your boy, Ray?
Was Connor raised as a billionaire, right?
Yeah, that's the vibe I was getting.
Yep. Connor Thomas is a billionaire.
He looks like it.
Yeah.
He looks like he was raised as a billionaire.
He acts as one, too. Just wait till you get to the casino on Saturday night. He'll be throwing money around like a billionaire.
He was trying to give the other side, and I was just like, no, you can't defend them. No. This is a moment where.
So, like, I could if I wanted to. I don't want to. He doesn't spend money. You look at all the other owners in the NBA, the amount of money they spent over the last however many years. I saw somebody put out a number out there where it's like, here's what the other owners have spent on luxury tax. Here's what the Sixers have spent, which is next to nothing.
Yeah.
By the way.
And by the way, you're talking about chemistry being a plus with this team when years it was not the case. And what do? I don't care if he does TikToks or not. You know, the bottom line is they liked him.
Yeah, the team liked him. He's a good young player. I agree. But all right, let's do this. Let's take Chris in Allentown, and then I'm going to do my best lawyer to defend Josh Harris.
Okay.
My best defense. Chris in Allentown. Chris, what's up?
Not much, gentlemen. Just wanted to kind of touch base on the coaching stuff at the end of the day. I'm a long-time listener. I listen to all three shows every day, all day.
Thank you.
I don't chime in that often, but you guys are one of my favorites. I'm not going to lie. Iggy and Ray thing, I think they should box it out. But,
I agree.
My opinion. But to get to the coaches stuff, it's like, Stoughton actually left us at the end of the day. So his role got diminished, I guess, from what my understanding is with reports. And, our run game did not look good last year. You did see a change a bit in the offense after the Los Angeles Chargers game.
Yep.
And that's when this whole debacle went, right? So, it's like Kellen Moore came in here to try to implement his offense, no motion, and all this other stuff that Stoutland didn't like. At the end of the day, though, he did leave us. This is the NFL. It was really cool to have this guy here, but, he's not Mr. Miyagi. There might be somebody that comes in here and helps Jordan Mailata do something different and make him experience better. When you're coached by the same coach and you're taught by the same person, you're not getting an opportunity to learn different techniques and different things at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Is it a big loss? Yes. But at the same time, though, I'm not jumping off the Golden State Bridge because we lost Stoutland. He's a position coach at the end of the day. Again, thank you for being here since 2013. You did an amazing job. I am glad you were here. But it is time to move on, and there's always a time to move on in the NFL.
Yep.
There's not everybody has 20 years like the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about the new hires. I'm excited about the young blood at the end of the day. I know the kid didn't call plays. Neither did Kevin Petula, but Petula's been in the league for 17 years, and he's never had that position. This kid's been here for 2 years now. Now he gets an opportunity to really shine, and he's shining in the best franchise in the NFL right now.
Let's go.
I can't wait, dude. I'm excited, bud. Again, I'm not going to play doom and gloom on all this stuff. There's a season. What is it? Times change. We have our seasons every, our ebbs and flows and stuff like that.
And you know what? Chris? But now, and great call, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
They got to get it right now. It's all easy to say, well, yeah, tear up the offense. Great. Hire Mannion. You're bringing in a McVay offense. This is awesome. But now you have to actually hire the right guys. And I have confidence the team can. I just the one thing that, and I live this culture. I live like this, where you're never happy with the Eagles and you're constantly going to complain about the Eagles and everything else. If there's ever been a time where we do need to give them the benefit of the doubt and realize they're really good, is now. I know I'm probably going to say this 1,000 times. In the next couple of months, they've been to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. They've won one of those Super Bowls. They've won 2 Super Bowls in the course of 8 years. This franchise right now is humming, and they're going to make mistakes along the way, and they've made mistakes, but it's a business and a company of really smart people.
Oh yeah,
Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman's a Hall of Fame GM. They've made great hires. They've made not so great hires sometimes, but you can't just Jeff Stoutland wasn't going to coach for the rest of the world.
He's had a hell of a run, being called up from college by Chip Kelly, still here. And, just the way the players spoke about him, just incredible. And he could talk a little bit more about, the evolution of these players that he had to teach. And that speaks volumes. But all in all, the success that they had as a team, starting with the offensive line, that's all you got to say. Quick note on Sean Mannion real quick.
Yeah.
It was reported that, every year the offensive coordinator, all of a sudden becomes the star of the show. Ben Johnson, Kellen Moore, and they're going to go on and get new gigs. Well, this year it's Clint Kubiak, offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. And he was asked about Sean Mannion, I believe, 2 days ago, and it was believed by some that he was going to offer Sean Mannion his offensive coordinator job out there with the Vegas Raiders. Yeah, Clint Kubiak's going to move on from the Seahawks. He's going to take the Raiders gig, and it's believed that he was going to offer the OC spot to Sean Mannion.
Yep. And he wouldn't call plays, but it's an offensive coordinator job. No, everybody that I've heard talking about Mannion, and it just doesn't sound like lip service. They're talking about why he's going to be good, not that he's just going to be good. And Patullo hadn't sniffed the offensive coordinator interviewer job his entire time in the NFL, and it looked like it.
Correct.
Last year. All right, the 76ers. Daryl Morey's speaking at 12 o'clock. So them trading Jared McCain, making $4.2 million. It's going to save a couple $1 million in tax penalties, and I'm not going to start talking about aprons and get too deep in the weeds here. But the one thing it could do, and I don't believe this is why they were necessarily doing it, like in baseball and basketball, when you're a repeat offender, so when you're constantly spending it over the cap into this luxury tax thing, then the penalties get worse. So for the Phillies, because they've been in a luxury tax so many different times, when they go over that number, it's now 110% of what they're paying. So if they pay a player $10 million, well, they're paying an additional $11 million in tax. So that's $21 million for a $10 million player. The Dodgers are spending hundreds of millions of dollars in luxury tax. Some teams just don't care. And there's a lot of NBA teams that don't care. Right now, the Sixers care. Now, you could make the argument, and John Middleton had said this before when they asked him about spending into the luxury tax, and he said, if I believe it's a move that can get us to a championship and it's significant, I'll do it. David Robertson cost the Phillies a lot of money for not a lot of pitching last year because of the luxury tax.
What a gig.
Middleton did it. So he will spend, but it also has to be, hey, I think this can get us a World Series. What move could the Sixers have made this year that could have gotten them over the top into it? Like, realistically, I know we like their chances and they're going on a hot streak. But I don't know. Like, so maybe this isn't the year to do it. And you're going to spend that money, or you'll be willing to spend that money next year. What move? Like, it's going back to what John Kincade said, where it's like, well, if your team was better and you win another playoff series, then you make more money. Is there any move that they could have made that would have been the difference between winning and losing a playoff series?
I think there were some players that were moved that could have potentially helped you in some spots. Again, I think that they have flaws. Obviously, this team has flaws. Outside shooting is one of them, right?
Is McCain leaving the difference between winning a series and losing a series?
No, not for me.
It could be, but like you would like on the question itself, no.
Nick Nurse wasn't playing him. I get it. He's been playing better, but the rotation is the rotation, and it gets even thinner. It gets even shorter when it comes to playoff time. But he would have got more PT with Paul George out for the next 24, and that was my big issue with this move.
You know what, Ray? What hurts the most is that I thought I was going to get to watch him for the rest of the season and see if he was the player we thought he was his rookie year.
That too.
Right.
But it said they trade him.
And they trade him to the team that everyone looks around in the NBA and says, oh, well, the Thunder are going to do that. You don't trade with the Thunder. You're not going to win that deal. Ironically, Daryl Morey recoups one of the picks that he sent to the Thunder when he traded for Russell Westbrook. So that's good for Daryl Morey. That's a nice win
those second-round picks.
Oh, no, the first-round pick. That was part of the Westbrook.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we're still talking about Westbrook trade picks from pre-pandemic.
So what started to annoy me yesterday was, all right, without knowing the answer to it, I didn't hear if Keith Pompey was asked about this. Was there any other way they could have done this without trading McCain? Because I'd seen some people say, I think Andrew actually said it on social media, which was, as long as they make another move, I'm fine with them getting rid of McKay because he kind of is what he is. Like, he's a nice piece, but they have their guards and everything else. Now, they didn't make a move, and then I think Andrew went nuts. But
And he went nuts this morning.
and he went nuts this morning.
Yeah.
But
With Keith.
yeah, I don't know how you didn't see that move and immediately think financial, because it was talked about a lot, and it's like Josh Harris is not losing more money or whatever because of McCain. He didn't give details to Morey on what to do. He just said, just do it.
Right.
Morey decided this was the move he was going to make.
Morey made this move because and today I'm sure he's going to do it at noon. We're really excited about what we can have in terms of these assets and the flexibility that it gives us in building our roster in the future. We've done a really good job drafting players such as McCain that puts us in a position to make a deal like this right now. You're going to get that answer from Morey coming up in an hour. He's going to give you some form of that because he's going to justify it to you. We like our guard depth. We want to have Grimes here for the future. And right now it's just a numbers game. I mean, that's what he's going to. He made a deal that he knows he can justify in an hour's time, and then he doesn't have to speak to us again until whenever.
Well, that's how he justified it.
Right.
Because he knew he had to make a move. He couldn't stand pat.
Right. And if he trades Oubre, it's like you're trading a guy that's
Gonna
one
help
of
you
the
this
only
year.
wings.
Yep.
Like you trade Grimes, that's good. Like there's not a real justifiable trade for just getting under the tax, and I think it leads to my question to him.
Would you have traded Oubre instead of McCain?
No. Well, if I'm held to the you have to get under the tax.
Yes.
I mean, you're cooked this year. Like that just no.
Well, especially with George going out.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're getting the return.
And that's why he didn't do it.
Yeah. So and that's the thing,
you're not getting a huge return as well.
I'm not mad at Morey. I'm more mad at the organization.
Yeah, I'm not, because I just don't know what else he could have done.
Right. Like if you are held to the you have to do this, and maybe there's a pounding on the table, like why? Like why are you you can't have me do this? And the question I would pose to Morey today is pretty much how do you sell to the fans that this season is about winning something with this trade deadline?
You don't. You can't.
Well, he has to try.
Well, but see, it's not about this. It's more about the future, and you're getting rid of a guy because of a couple of $1 million.
Right.
That could be a big part of your future.
Yes.
That's really what this accounts to. I think they save $7 million in tax, and then they're not a repeat offender. He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
He owns the Commanders.
Yeah, step on up.
He owns the Devils.
I don't want to hear anything about saving money.
Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? It's one thing if you're like, all right, we're not going to be good this year. We're really spending a lot of money on salary. We're taking a step back. We're tearing this down a little bit, and then you're going to shed salary. You're going to get rid of salary. The Sixers have actually been playing well. Of all the times to decide that you're going to go cheapo on us, it's now.
And
oh man, it's such a kick in the balls to 76ers fans that have just been dying for this team to take that next step.
And oh, by the way, the big man spoke up about it, right? Like, could we give?
Can we
him
hear it? Can we? We played it yesterday. The audio's terrible.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, wait, Joel Embiid stepped up, and he's not really vocal when it comes to those sort of things.
Well, let's play Maxey. We're talking about it like bad move. What about McCain next year? You got draft picks. Who cares about that? What about the impact in the locker room? Right, you're taking a guy out of the are these guys really close with him? Is he a big part of what they do? Here's Tyrese Maxey on the McCain trade.
Yeah, man, it's part of the business. Number one, and number two, man, it's just sad, man. Like little brother to me, dog. Like kind of like the first real rook, I guess, rookie vet for me, man. It's yeah, I mean, he was emotional and stuff, but I'm happy for him. Hopefully he gets an even better opportunity over there to succeed. And he got a fan in me for life, brother in me for life. So,
hey, Josh Harris, you made Tyrese Maxey cry.
How about that, Josh?
It gets worse too.
For him? Yeah, there's a lot of other things going around that are really worse. But you're talking about the trade. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. I am. I'm talking about
Sorry,
that. Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
I'm talking about the fact that Maxey goes on and talking about I'm not going to see him at the bus. Like it hit me this morning. I'm not going to see him. Like he's having an emotional, literally they sent his brother across the world.
Well, they weren't. No one was expecting it.
No.
It kind of came out of nowhere.
Right.
See, and that's what pisses me off is there really not another thing you could have done. And you got to believe me, Daryl, you got to your owner sucks. All right, legitimately, who even knows what their relationship is? Morey seems like he could be fired. They brought in the guy from Golden State, Bob Myers, to kind of oversee Daryl Morey. You think he appreciates that?
He was front row last night, too, at the Lakers game.
He sure was.
Him and Rich Paul hanging out.
Oh, man, what a star.
Yep.
He sure was.
And maybe for Morey, that's why you don't at all question when he says we have to go to the tax. It's like,
Oh, of course.
Well, but I'm
He's
saying
the
is
owner.
that, like a lot of people just want Daryl to like talk to Josh. Who knows if he even talks to Josh Harris anymore? Remember when Stephen A. came out and he said, I talked to Magic Johnson and Josh Harris, and then he talked about how mad
Josh
Harris was about the Embiid extension. So if Josh Harris, who, by the way, he wants his teams to win, and he also doesn't want to lose hundreds of millions of dollars because he's a businessman, and he's looking at Joel Embiid and he's saying, did I just flush $200 million down the toilet because this guy can't play, and we didn't even need to do it? And Magic Johnson's telling him, I don't know what the hell Daryl Morey's doing. Who knows if Morey and Josh Harris even have a relationship or they talk? I don't know. This is a press conference where Josh Harris should be out facing the questions, honestly.
Oh, I'd like that.
Well, that's never going to happen.
No, of course not.
But Daryl Morey's get paid a lot of money to come out and have to deal with this. I think you're going to learn a lot about his relationship and standing with the organization based on how he answers questions.
Yep.
If he very willingly is willing to take some bullets and try to spin things to where this is more about the future and flexibility and things like that, or is he just very cold about it and saying, there's financial things that happen and we have to make moves? I don't know.
I think it's going to be a combo of both. Morey is slick with it. He's been around the block. He knows what needs to be said right here, too. And he believes that the haul that he was able to get back, I get it. Don't jump on me. I know people like to be upset when you use the word haul with what they received as far as compensation is concerned. But again, we know in the NBA, you stockpile picks, what it can lead to in the future drafts, offseason, so on and so forth. So that's where Daryl Morey is going to go. Like, hey, man, we got some capital now. Where we were a year ago, we are much better prepared for this upcoming offseason. I would assume that will come up. Now, maybe he might not mention the offseason. That probably would be in his best interest, but that's where mentally I'm sure he is.
And all they had to do was kill Tyrese Maxey and make him cry.
Oh.
Trade grades for the trade, Ray, and looking on Yahoo, I'm giving the Sixers a solid grade because they achieved what they had hoped to achieve in getting under the tax.
Yay!
But note it's a pity grade.
no.
Hang the banner.
Trading away cheap pieces, young cheap pieces, when you have that much money tied up in Embiid and Paul George is just not a position they want to be in. So this is all about the finances, which is both boring and discouraging.
I'm in multiple text groups. I'm sure, Ray, you are with a couple buds. John, are you in text groups with friends as well?
I have no friends.
Okay. Ray, has anybody in those text groups said anything positive about this trade?
No.
No.
Of course not.
Not one of my friends has. Yeah,
because
not one.
nobody that's a fan cares about a billionaire saving $7 million.
Correct.
For a trade. I mean, think about that. That's what the number is, right? That's what I read. Moving on from him essentially has saved them $7 million this year. Maybe that was before Gordon, too.
Even if it's double-digit $1 million, dude, you print money. Like, it's not exactly like you're in a really dire industry. You have multiple franchises across multiple cities.
But you see that this team's being treated like a business, not his team.
Right.
It's being treated as a bottom line, like, all right, save $7 million or pay $7 million or keep McCain. No, we'll trade him and I'll save that money. Yeah, that sucks. This would never happen with the other teams.
Nope.
610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. I'm fascinated to hear what Morey has to say.
Yeah, this is definitely one, because when we got the text from Ray, like, hey, Morey's on at noon, I was interested. I'm like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. We play this. This is definitely a no-brainer.
Some breaking NFL news. Jim Schwartz has resigned from the Cleveland Browns. I guess that means they're just allowing him to leave?
And he's likely to sit out the season, according to Schefter.
Yeah, because no team's going to give up draft picks for him. And if I'm the Browns, I'm not.
So if you're Jim Schwartz, you resign, you sit out the season, and what defensive coordinator job could be awaiting you come next offseason?
Yep. Yeah, pretty good
Enjoy the year
chance.
off.
Pretty good chance that happens, for sure. All right, coming up next, Sean Brace's top 5 plays of the Eagles Super Bowls, not including the 38 special.
That's the caveat. No 38
How
special.
about 38 special? How about 38 special?
No Philly special, but Sean said, how many Super Bowls was this?
There's only 2 featured.
So it's not.
It's a little combination. It's a little hat tip. It's
Okay,
a,
okay.
Yeah,
All
it's a little bit of
All right,
everything.
how about 38 special?
But no
right.
38 special.
That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Talk attacks. I'm Ray done with this Fanatic Sports Update. NBA trade deadline was yesterday. Came and went with the Sixers making 2 deals in the week leading up to it. The first was the Jared McCain deal, in which McCain was dealt to Oklahoma City for a first-round pick and 3 second-round picks. And then Eric Gordon was sent to Memphis. Tyrese Maxey got a chance to react to the McCain trade ahead of the game last night in L.A.
Yeah, man, it's part of the business. Number one, and number two, man, it's just sad, man. Like little brother to me, dog. Like kind of like the first real rook, I guess, rookie vet.
Daryl Morey will meet with the media coming up at noon to address the trade deadline. The Sixers lost the Lakers last night. The Flyers lost in overtime to the Senators last night. And the Eagles right now looking to replace offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland. We'll see if they have to replace any more offensive linemen, as both Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson's futures are both reportedly right now undecided. We'll talk to Mike Gill from Radio Row coming up at 1 o'clock. This update's brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Football and King's irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers. Flyers, best bird stock in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Brandon Dutz, our YouTube producer, he sends a text to Ray, and he says, Tribe Called Quest, can I kick it? Or he said, can I kick it? And I said, by who? He said, Tribe Called Quest. And I'm like, get him in here now.
Wow.
He didn't know what a one-hit wonder was.
He also doesn't know what Tribe Called Quest is either.
That's clear. No, I don't think he didn't, because I had said one-hit wonder, and he said he didn't know what a one-hit wonder was.
Gotcha. But he liked the song, and he was trying to say, like, hey, yeah.
I'm not sure what he was trying to say.
It's Dutz. I don't know what is going on back there.
He
Him
didn't
and
really
Nate,
know.
yeah, they're on their own.
I think that might have been it. They might have been having their own show back there,
Yeah.
and they missed the whole "It's a One Hit Wonder" Wednesday, and they just thought we were taking requests to take requests.
Because you were taking requests on the
I
text line.
was, and I enjoyed that. That was the closest I ever felt to a DJ. I mean, I'm no Sean Brace, obviously.
Right.
Hey, going out tonight? Let's go.
You're going out with who?
Got a little business meeting, a little happy hour soiree. John Marks, Ray Dunn.
Oh, that's work. That doesn't count as going out.
Going to Fairmount, a matter of fact, Ray.
Wow. Thanks for the heads up, man.
Oh, I'll even look.
That's going out.
I'll hit you out. I'll hit you up afterwards. Oh, yeah, definitely. There's, dude, St. John's, Yukon. Let's go. We got some good college action.
Ooh,
tonight.
white suit night?
Tomorrow, too, as well. It might be for
Feels
Ricky.
like a white suit night.
Yeah. So got the approval, got the thumbs up. 5 o'clock work meeting. That's a huge button of contention in the household. Is like, work? Is it really work? Oh, you're working.
Well, I know what you're doing, so it really is work.
Thank you, John Marks. I appreciate that.
Now, did you have to make it in Fairmount at 5 p.m. on a Friday?
I'm not.
I didn't. I mean, I don't know if that's the case,
Wait a minute.
but it is a work
That's
meeting.
not up to me. That wasn't up to me. I just said I'll go
Okay.
where the meeting is.
It's a work meeting. I'll just say that. It's a legitimate work meeting.
100%.
100%. It could result in money.
Oh, but do you
It
have
carries
to
that
have
money.
beers? Do you have to have beers? That
Well,
doesn't
that's-
sound like a work meeting to me.
That's
also-
the best kind of meeting.
That's what I said.
But that's also fair.
Is it? We're
Yes,
we're
it is. Yes,
dudes.
it is. But hold on. It's fair from a woman's perspective. Because that's what they do.
Like, you mean to tell me women don't say, you know what, let's meet up for a little business meeting and we'll have a Cosmo or, a skinny margarita or whatever they want to sip on. I don't know.
Skinny margarita.
Well, it's the brand, Bethany
Hey,
Frankel.
hey, before you go home and do laundry, hey, have a Cosmo.
Bring back the 2 martini lunch. Let's go.
No issue with what you're doing.
Right.
But also, this is what you do. All right? This is what you do. You go out. Like with me, if I was to go out ever, it would be shocking. Because I don't ever go out.
Yes.
With you were out with beef till 2 in the morning.
Yes.
Or you go out every week.
Yes.
Don't hit me up after you're done.
No.
I don't want to cause
Oh,
any more
come on.
problems in the household.
Oh.
I can't have me, because I know how that gets spun. I'm then the bad influence. He was
5
playing
o'clock
Uber.
to Fairmount? No.
That's a good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
I don't hesitate to Uber home.
Right, but you don't want to leave the car.
Well, I will. I have no issues with that.
yeah, I
whatsoever.
know.
You just suck it up with the PPA ticket. You can do what it is.
Whatever, you get a
Yeah.
ride back in. And, yeah,
Heck of a lot cheaper than the other way.
yep.
Oh, yeah.
No, for sure. All right, let's get to.
Oh, yeah.
Sean, so, Sean, tell us exactly what this is.
Oh, well, let me turn my microphone on. Here's the deal. It is Super Bowl weekend. And I said, you know what? Let's have a little run it back and revisit some of the great moments from Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl history. And then I ended up putting together the top 5 list. And, yeah, there's 4 from last year and 1 from the Super Bowl they lost. But that's all right. Don't let the story get in front of great highlights coming your way. So with that, please, Ray Dunn, top 5 Eagles Super Bowl plays that don't involve the 38 special. All right?
All right,
That's
how
where
about
we're at.
38 special?
Yeah, nice and easy. We're going to skip
All right,
the
how about
38.
38 special?
Oh, by the way, Philly special coming your way tonight, 30 for
9
30. If
p.m.
you want to catch that, but not the 38 special happening here. All right, we open up number 5, the intros of all intros. John, people often ask me, when did you know the Eagles were going to roll? Well, all it took was this introduction by Mr. Bradley Cooper.
All right, from the city of brotherly love, your 2024 NFC champions, the Eagles!
Best introduction ever. Yeah, it was over right then and there. I'm still not ordering Uber Eats. Please stop it. Stop it, Bradley Cooper. Those commercials are terrible. What an introduction.
Yeah, he is. I don't know. A lot of people are like, is he really an Eagle fan? This dude's really an Eagle fan. Hardcore, legit.
Yeah.
He's just not sitting in the owner's box.
No, definitely not. Yeah, he's a diehard.
Diehard.
Yeah. All right. Look, honestly, that's when the game was over right there. All right. Well, we can roll on from one Cooper to the next. Number 4, rookie cornerback phenom Cooper DeJean, while celebrating his 22nd birthday, made Super Bowl history, boys. He was the first player ever to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl on his birthday.
3rd and 16. Mahomes rolling out. Looking, firing, intercepted. Picked up by Cooper DeJean. Gets a block. DeJean is in. Touchdown.
Back and reads Patrick Ives. You could see the break. And this young stud, Cooper DeJean, another rookie making a huge impact.
Young stud. That's right, Tom Brady. The Eagles got 2 of them on the defensive side of the ball and hopefully forever. Of course, both All-Pros this year. But, man, kicking in the door, his first interception, and, of course, returning it for a touchdown against Mahomes, making it 17-0, and that was essentially all she wrote.
How do you go up from rookie season, birthday, pick 6, domination, win?
Oh, I know how. You start hooking up with Nikki Bella.
Yeah, but she's 42.
She looks great.
Yeah, she's awesome. That's great.
She looks great.
I'm already like,
I'm
already over it.
I think he is too.
Yeah, I don't think. Ray, are they going to be dating in a year?
I would say no.
I would say no.
Yeah, I would say no. All right, number 3, we're staying with Super Bowl 59 down in New Orleans, leading the charge all evening long. What the defense across the board? Everybody that played on the defense side of the ball, yeah, we know that they were the true MVPs. The assault they laid on Mahomes, 6 total sacks, giving the KC passing game no time to get anything going. The true MVPs. Here's a little compilation of all 6 sacks.
In the first half of this game, here's Mahomes. Pressure right away. Mahomes is sacked. Josh Sweat gets home. 2nd and 14, 4-man rush. Mahomes pressured again, sacked again. This time it's Jalix Hunt who gets home first. On 3rd and 9, 4-man rush, pressure again. Mahomes in trouble. Mahomes sacked again. 3rd of the day for Philadelphia. Mahomes looking around, pressured again. Mahomes dropped again. 4th sack of the game for Philadelphia. It's Jordan Davis that time. Pitching the shutout so far. Mahomes pressured again. Sack number 5. It's Josh Sweat again, who's got 2.5 for the game.
Yeah.
So here's Mahomes. What's he got left? Pressure again. Decked. Ball is out. And the Eagles have it. Milton Williams with a strip sack. Philadelphia takes over.
Domination, John. If you remember, generated 16 pressures without needing to blitz, 11 total quarterback hits. They forced 3 turnovers, 6 sacks for 31 yards lost. Again, I got goosebumps right now.
Yeah, the Kansas City offensive line was struggling towards the end of the season, and the Eagles were playing their best football.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody that should have seen that coming. I mean, they dominated. Kansas City dominated.
Yeah, there's a guy by the name of Caliendo that was on the offensive line. His name was mentioned a ton. That's all I'll say. All right, number 2 for A.J. Brown, because I'm sorry, I'm approaching this as this is his last time in an Eagles uniform, and it's upsetting, but it's just the reality of the situation. A.J. Brown will be suiting up with a new uniform next season, but we go to Super Bowl 57 and 59. Of course, A.J. Brown finding the end zone 2 times.
Hurts has all day, loaded up, taking a shot, looking for A.J. Brown. He's got it! Touchdown!
His best to hang in there, but again, not his natural position in the pros.
Hurts lets it go, complete. A.J. Brown, he's in! Touchdown, Eagles!
If you remember, 57 was the deep one in the corner where he looked the one way and had to go back over his shoulder, a magnificent catch. And then in 59 was a perfectly placed ball by Jalen Hurts, I believe on 3rd down crossing.
Yep.
And he hit him in stride, and he took it with ease into the end zone. Unbelievable. All right, last but not least, you know where I'm going. It's got one name. It's the Dagger. That's all that needs to be said. The Eagles holding a commanding 27-0 lead. If you remember, 2:47 left to go in the 3rd quarter. They just stopped the Chiefs on 4th down. Avante Maddox with a clutch breakup. The thought was to run the clock in the booth between Brady and Burkhardt, but not with Sirianni and Hurts, though.
Play. Now the Eagles get it back. We're going to run some clock, or maybe throw the dagger. Hurts going deep for it all. Devontae Smith. He has got it. Touchdown. Wow.
That's it. Wow. One word. Tom Brady. Game.
You always worry about, because of Tom Brady, it's 27-3. And so even with me, the dagger was like, all right, like I can't even talk myself into the Eagles losing this
34-0. Yeah, when Coop returned it for 17-0, everybody was partying. This isn't over.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is over.
And it was.
It was.
Yeah, no, I was even disappointed that Kansas City got those garbage points late because it was such a thorough domination. I mean, when was the last time there was that type of domination in a Super Bowl? Because back in the 80s and the 90s, there was a big disparity between the AFC and the NFC.
55-10 we had.
Yeah, there was a lot of blowouts. That was like one of those games.
Seattle and Denver was a blowout, right? Seattle when they won at MetLife. That was a blowout.
That's right. That was like that early.
But, dude, you had 3 straight Super Bowls that were decided by a field goal. Like the Eagles was decided by a field goal 38-35. The previous one before that was decided by a field goal. The Niners the year after was decided by a field goal. So, like, I was trying to come up with the 4.5-point spread, but majority of these games tend to be more than 4 or 5 point wins. Let's put it that way.
Eagles blowout. Kansas City close game with San Francisco. Kansas City close game with the Eagles. Rams close game with Cincinnati. Tampa Bay, Kansas City was a blowout.
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah.
Tom, that's Tom.
Yep.
Kansas City. No, like a lot of the 13-3 game when New England last one. Yeah,
I was on the under though. That was a great win for me.
That was an easy one.
That was an easy one.
Yeah, 43-8. I would say would be the real last.
The Falcons and Patriots was a field goal, obviously, or no, that was a touchdown in overtime.
6 points.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So what do you expect on Sunday?
Man, I think I'm having a hard time going against the Seahawks. I really am. I just think they're defensively they're too much, and they're going to slow down Drake May. And then on offense, if Darnold doesn't turn into a pumpkin, I'm going Seahawks here. I think they win the game, and I think they win the game easily.
Ray, is this now everybody has said, I can't say that Darnold's going to turn on the Darnold. He has answered every question. He's great. And now he turns into Darnold.
All of a sudden, it becomes this Patriots offense can't figure anything out, and Sam Darnold's going to just be too good for them to catch up with. Which is weird. If you said that to me at the beginning of this playoffs, it'd be like, wow, that Patriots offense all season long looked really good. And come on, it's Sam Darnold. So it's the exact flip of where we were a month ago. It kind of feels that way for you.
It almost feels too easy to take Seattle.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
I think I'm overthinking it if I don't. They're clearly the better team.
They are the better team in every spot, too.
So like, how would they lose this game? Sam Darnold sucks. And Strone's interception.
That and Vrabel comes up, or Verbal, excuse me. He comes
play.
Yeah. He comes up with just an unbelievable defensive game plan.
Well, and it may be one of these things where everything that needs to go their way goes their way. No turnovers. They get a trick play for a touchdown, an onside kick, something like that. Look at that. The Eagles won with the Phillies special.
That's why you take them in the first half. Take the Patriots in the first half. Seahawks
2.5
for the game. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you do there.
All right, well, we're going to have Mike Gill on from Radio Row later on, 1 o'clock. We're waiting to see if the A.J. Brown podcast is going to be released at some point.
Dudes on dudes.
I know, but why would you bury it on a Friday? I know they recorded it yesterday. Don't they have people that it wasn't Gronk up late?
With all love and respect, if you're doing a podcast with Gronk and Edelman, yeah, they're out there partying.
But who's the producer? There's a producer. They're not doing this.
You're right. Somebody needs to knock it out.
Yeah.
Dudes on dudes.
All right, but so we have Mike Gill coming up Radio Row. We have Daryl Morey coming up at 12 o'clock, but we have another live check-in from the Bay Area right now. Herb from Northeast Philly, live at the Super Bowl. What's up, Herb?
Okay. What's up, Johnny? What's happening, Johnny?
Sound like you were partying late last night, Herb.
Nah, I just went to bed. I slept. I saw some of the Sixers games, man, on my phone.
Oh, you did? All right.
Yeah, it came through. Yeah, I was on YouTube. It came through.
What are you doing? Eating breakfast?
I'm having breakfast, yeah, and then I'm going to the gym in about an hour and so, and there's a lot of gyms out here. And then from there, I'm heading down to Stanford. They're going to have an inter-squad game.
So Herb was at the Herb.
coach-
Herb
the
apparently
coach-
knows Herb. Hang on a second. Herb knows the coach of Stanford baseball. He says
Nice.
So he was out there yesterday, right, Herb?
Yep. Yeah, I was there for about an hour. They were they had batting practice. The coach was throwing pitches to them and all. Yeah.
Oh, look at
All
that.
right.
And
Did security escort you
the
out?
coach has a good arm. He was throwing fastballs, curveballs. I was surprised. They
Are you going to the Super Bowl, Herb?
I'm going tonight down to San Jose. I'm going down to that Santana Row
What's
and hang out down there. That's where a lot of people are hanging out
Oh, is that
in
the
San
hangout?
Jose.
All right.
The stadium is about 5-6 miles from there.
Gotcha.
In Santa
for
Clara.
people-
Santa Clara is a smaller,
I got you. So for people that don't know, Herb is out in San Francisco. And Herb, have a great time, all right?
Yeah, Herb.
And check back in later if you want to. Herb's out there. He just went out there. And he was asking yesterday, or was this this was Wednesday? He called in and he said, tell Baldy to call me. And I said, what do you mean? Have him call me. And I'm like, I'm not telling Baldy to call you. He's not going to call you, Herb. So then he asked for Super Bowl tickets.
Okay.
Ask Baldy for Super Bowl tickets.
Okay.
And I said, all right, just so I know, do you have a budget that you want to spend, or you just want complimentary tickets? He's like, yeah, I just want tickets. So I'm like, okay, let me text Baldy and see if he can get you free Super Bowl tickets. So Baldy did not respond back to me.
I would imagine that Baldy's pretty busy himself. David Esquire is the head coach of Stanford baseball, if you were wondering.
And Herb, I wasn't. Okay. But Herb says he knows.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Daryl Morey's coming up at noon. So before the Dombrowski press conference, what did I say, Ray? I predicted that he's going to show urgency. He's going to say we're that close. And we got to some type of urgency. We have a good club.
Yep.
But we were that close, and it just makes me almost damn it, damn, I wish. What can I do in the offseason?
Yep.
That's going to get us over the hump. Meanwhile, he comes out and talks about being a good club, and he wonders if Bryce Harper is elite or not. So I was incorrect on my prediction of the press conference.
Gave you a little something there.
He gave us something, all right. We have a good club. It's a fine line.
Fine line.
I don't know if Morey's going to give us anything. What do you think?
No.
Well, what I could tell you is that the Sixers tweeted out about 10 minutes ago that it was going to be 11:45 now. It's 11:48. He hasn't stepped to the podium. So
it's now?
It's supposed to be now. They said it was going to be now. They moved up the time, and now they're late for the time they moved it up to.
So what should we do? Are we able to catch it and then play it? Because this may be long.
This could be long.
I know, and we had. So why don't we do this? Let's step aside right now. We're going to come back with Daryl Morey. All right, coming up next, Daryl Morey. Don't go anywhere. Middays and Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Daryl Morey's coming up next. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Next, you'll hear Daryl Morey address the trade deadline where the 76ers made two deals. They dealt Eric Gordon to Memphis. They traded Jared McCain to the Thunder for a first and a third and 3 second-round picks. Daryl Morey, again, speaking, coming up next to break down the trade deadline. We'll carry it for you live here on The Fanatic. This update's brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Football King's irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it. Coming up next, Daryl Morey, live right here on The Fanatic. I'm Ray Dunn.
nice. We're back. It is Middays with Marks. It's actually worked out perfectly because they moved up the time for Daryl Morey, but then he's late. Now he's 10 minutes late.
I don't like tardiness.
So it's nothing new.
Yeah.
With normally the Eagles are late.
So they wanted to bump it up to start it on time. I kind of dig that.
Is that what it is? So now it's like Tom Coughlin. If you're not, you have to be 5 minutes early.
5 minutes early,
or
you're late. Yeah.
Is that what it is with?
Well, now he's almost 10 minutes late.
Right.
No, but originally scheduled for noon, correct?
So you tweeted out that it's changed to 11:45. It's 11:45 now.
Correct, but the original time was noon, so you bump it up to get the start.
What time did they move it back?
At 11:35. They let everyone know that it was at 11:45.
So they said, all right, it's coming up in 10 minutes, not 12, and then it does not happen in 10 minutes.
But yesterday you said it was at noon, correct?
I could read you the release.
Okay,
I'm ready to fight someone.
But that's my point. But that's my point. My point is they're doing this because, we want to bump it up so we get started on time.
So I think that, this is where Daryl's like, I gotta get it over with, right? And you just want to do it because you're there. Sometimes when it's back, it's because guys are late or they're preparing for the press conference. Daryl's going to come up there and be Daryl. He's always the same guy no matter what. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty much I'm smarter than everybody, and I'm a great GM, and it doesn't really matter what you say, and let me kind of look down on you or whatever. Reality is he's done a good job with a lot of moves, and the Paul George move seems like an all-timer, an all-time bad one. So this is not the trade of McCain is not because of Daryl Morey. It's because of ownership. This is financial. So it's hard for me to be mad at Daryl. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be listening where I'm like, yeah, you know what? I really like that guy. I like Dombrowski. I like when Dombrowski talks. He's a good talker.
Yeah.
I can't say the same about Daryl.
Daryl's proved his worth to me. I was a Daryl detractor, a little bit of a doubter at times, but, like you just pointed out, everything you said was true. I'm smarter than you. I've invented the game, analytics, that sort of deal, whatever. He speaks at one of those conferences every year. And he comes off like that, but his moves back it up. It felt like he's always aggressive, and he's got a method to his madness. That's all I asked for. The unfortunate part here is, where I stand on this team. This could easily go down as one of the worst takes, where I said that they are a contender for the East. I still believe that. Keith Pompey joined the morning show today and said this team is the most dangerous team in the NBA. I don't even think that. I thought that was a little over the top, but that's what some people are saying in NBA circles. They could beat anybody on any given night. Where I'm at with today is, Daryl, you had an opportunity to improve your team. The last time you can do that is right here, right now at the NBA trade deadline, and you failed to do so.
No, he traded away guys.
Exactly. You got to a point worse.
I mean, they took away from me, because I don't think McCain is going to be with why they don't win a title this year. But it would have been fun watching a guy come back that's in his second year. Maybe you get something more for him in the offseason. Like with Giannis, they didn't trade Giannis because they realized the deal wasn't there to trade Giannis.
And by the way, coming off an injury,
you don't have to trade him unless it's financial.
He comes off an injury, and it's like, wait a minute, he just got that thumb injury. I forget what it was. Was it the summertime?
It was the thumb. Yeah, I don't even remember.
It was right around, because I just remember, here we go, Sixer season is right around the corner, and I think it was training camp.
It was right before. It was the day before media day, because I remember we were like, oh yeah, tomorrow's going to be fun. And then we got the news. It's like, oh yeah.
So this guy's coming off an injury. He had the season that he had last year. Putting that to the side, who cares? But he has proven his worth, and he has a little bit something different than what is being offered by some of these other guys that are on your bench. Is he good on defense? No, he's not. But guess what? When you need a shooter, somebody that can spark the offense, McCain could be that guy.
Right, look at it this way. Explain it to me like it's the Phillies. So if the Phillies at the trade deadline, they traded away Amundo Sosa because it was saving them $4 million, and it gets them under the luxury tax, and ultimately will save them more money, and they didn't do any other moves, what would the reaction be? And we're talking about a backup player, but what you feel like could be an important backup player. He's not the young player that McCain is, but as far as impact on the team, you can make the case that McCain could have been the scorer off the bench. And you can make the case that Amundo Sosa is their top reserve who can play anywhere, and he's got pop. A lot of reasons
to keep
Amundo Sosa. Love Amundo Sosa.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the Phillies traded him to save some money?
No, I would know what the reaction would be. I know what the reaction would be. And it's look, it comes down to this Josh Harris owner with all of his toys out there and whatever everything else he's going through, whatever it is, gives the command that, look, we got to meet this number. I do believe what you said with Bob Myers, though, is interesting because he's the new guy. He's running everything. He is the leader in charge. So this could be a command from him, like, hey, this is how we got to operate here. We have to get underneath the tax. I'm not saying it's right or
But
wrong.
he takes cues from somebody else.
That's true, too.
What does he care, ultimately? But if they say, as a company, nope, we have to get it down to this number, it's your job to get it down to this number. It was Daryl Morey's job to get it down that number. I wonder what Morey thinks about Bob Myers being hired in the first place. I have an idea. I saw somebody on social media saying, oh, but this is coming from Bob Myers, too. You think Bob Myers and Daryl Morey are working hand in hand on the 76ers right now?
No.
Ray? Not likely.
No, not likely.
In fact, Daryl sees the writing on the wall. That could be the guy that more or less comes in to run basketball ops.
Correct.
Being that he's done it to a championship level. I feel like Daryl sometimes acts like he won championships when he's never really been close. He's a good GM. You could do a lot worse than Daryl Morey.
Would they lose to the Warriors when he had the Rockets that one year?
26 consecutive missed threes.
Yeah.
I mean, Daryl can't put the ball in the net for you.
That's why I said he did a good job.
Yeah.
But he hasn't come to the Sixers and put him over the top. They fired Brett Brown because they couldn't get past the second round of the playoffs. They're worse off now.
To be fair to Daryl, he also didn't pick Doc Rivers, but he had to give Doc Rivers a shot.
Okay. Like I said, he's a good GM, but what has he proven that I need to be treating him like he's a title sponsor?
Oh, yeah. No, here we go again. I'm not going to stand in the way. Again, this is not the bulldozer standing in the way. Go get Daryl Morey if you want. I'm not standing in the way of that. You go right ahead and take your shots at him. I'm just providing a little context.
You're right.
That's all I'm here
That's
for.
where I stand because I was one of these guys that always went after him.
Right now, honestly, fire them all. It's 12:01. You told me this presser was going to be at 11:45, at 11:35. After telling me it was at noon, everybody can go.
Can we talk a little bit real quick about last night's game and how that ended? They were
up. What were they up 13 in the third quarter?
Yes, and then all of a sudden the wheels fell off. Austin Reeves was bombing threes. It was a tough turnover. He was defending Joel Embiid. He forced him into a turnover, and that was all she wrote. That was a crazy ending to a game. We talked about why that number, what it was, or the reason why it was. There's some historical reference and trends dating back to when they come back from the Grammys. That's why they were favored, 4.5 point favorites. Lakers going off on that. I believe before the game started, it dropped down to 2.5. So they did cover the number. But, man, for 3 quarters, it was all Sixers. And in the fourth quarter, that was it. Lakers took over.
Yep, the reserves didn't do great. And that's where the Lakers really made that big run. And beat at 35 points last night, right? I mean, he was very efficient. Maxey was good last night. Edgecombe actually had a good job. It's one of these games that's probably slipped away.
Yeah, and they said it as much. I woke up to a tweet. You brought up Beef's name. He was tweeting earlier today, and he wrote, "I think we all owe Embiid an apology." And I said, "Whoa. I'm not necessarily going to
what?
Yeah, I'm not one of these guys that are. I'll just read you exactly what he said to me. He said, many, including myself, never thought he would put up these type of numbers ever again. But in the big picture.
All right, here is Daryl Morey.
Eric Gordon, for their time here. They were big for us on and off the court. Eric obviously didn't get as much chance to play this season, but off the court was important, especially to a guy like VJ and his development. Jared, obviously, tremendous human, tremendous player. We wish him well in OKC. We think he has a tremendous future. Wish him well. I do want to say that I understand the reaction of the fans, but I feel like that comes from, folks are excited about this team, and that's why we've had this reaction, and they should be excited. I think everyone sees out there we have a healthy Joel Embiid rounding into form. We have Tyrese Maxey taking a leap and a deserved all-star. We've got a bunch of guys stepping up as well. Kelly Oubre is playing his best basketball of his career. We love the bigs we have with Joel and Drum and Bona. We feel like, guys are contributing up and down the roster. Coach Nurse has done a tremendous job, putting us in with the top few teams of the East in terms of how we're playing. And so, that's why we understand the fan reaction. The move, obviously the big move was with Jared. Because we're playing well, we were trying to upgrade the team and add to the team now. That was goal number one. Obviously, no deal materialized, including using the picks we got from the Jared deal. We were trying to. That's why we did that move a little early. We're trying to reuse those draft picks to add now. We do feel like this deal sets us up better in the future, but we understand that we were looking to add now, and nothing materialized. So, that is, and with that, I'll take questions. But I do want folks to know that, this team we think can make a deep playoff run and is one of the top few teams of the East. We feel like that's still the case going forward. We were very careful to make sure that the core parts of the rotation were intact. We did the Eric move primarily was to set up what we could do with Barlow. Not primarily, it was the only reason, and allowed us to get a guy that we found who's contributing in a very good way. To not have to go to unrestricted free agency. We didn't think that was good business, so we were happy to reward him with a good contract and potentially something that we can work out even a better contract in the future with him, like we've done in the past with players in that situation. So, any question?
You mentioned that you were looking to add now. And you talked about the momentum of several players who are doing well this season, trying to build off that. You also said you understand the fan reaction, and a lot of their reaction is, this was a move to stay below the luxury tax because we didn't bring anything in for that trade this season. What do you say to those fans?
Yeah, I'd say we were trying to add to the team, and we didn't find a deal that made sense, that we thought could move the needle on our ability to win this year. The CBA pressures were felt, up and down the league. To do the Barlow move to get him on a good long-term deal because of the first apron, we had to do moves to create that opportunity. But that wasn't the primary reason for the Jared deal. We felt that we see Jared as someone who is more likely to help a team in the future. I think that's fairly obvious. I think he has a bright future. We thought that the draft picks we got will help us more in the future and could have helped us this deadline in terms of the picks we got were offered to many teams, and nothing materialized for a player that we thought could move the needle with those picks now. But we feel like going forward, those picks will help us build the team in the future, in a good way.
Were players like VJ or Joel, were they untouchable? Were they foundational to your plan both now and later?
Yeah, with the hesitation that in the NBA it feels like nothing, things happen. We have some, as close to untouchable players as you might have in this league, and Tyrese and Joel and, VJ, Paul. Like, we like our core. We really think it's a very good core. Obviously, we need to prove that on the court, and I think lately we have been proving it to a higher level. But, yeah, I'd say we have, as close as you get to untouchable.
You mentioned Paul among them. I think the general populace thought Paul might be movable if you could move him. Was he untouchable, and do you see him as being part of this core when he comes off suspension in your postseason run?
We really like what Paul gives us, and in fact, one of the focuses was could we find someone that while Paul's out for this period before he gets back for the last 10 games who can step in there, but we didn't see anything that would contribute more than Barlow's given us. Then, obviously we've been, playing different players at that position when Paul's been out this season. Watford, you could argue, defensively has played there sometimes. So even Coach has gotten creative with lineups with Bona and things like that. I think Coach has done a tremendous job taking the pieces that he has and putting them in the best situation for us to win. And, we've been playing pretty good basketball of late. Obviously, yesterday was a disappointment, but yeah, long answer to, we were looking for maybe something that could, shore us up while Paul's out, but we like so much what Barlow's given us that we didn't see anything that would hurdle what he's given us.
Daryl, I guess obviously Joel came out publicly and would like to say you'd like to improve the roster. Obviously you said you tried, but have you and Joe had any combos about the deadline and about kind of what happened or anything?
Yeah, I mean, with all our top players, we update them throughout of, both the moves and, some of the potential opportunities out there. I think we all wanted to add to the team, and, I took his comments to heart. I feel like, myself and the front office, we're stewards of the team, and we're here to make the team better. I think we've done a lot of good things to get the team in this situation, but for this deadline, I understand the reaction that we didn't add. But I feel like if folks were excited about the team before, the same group that they were excited about before is going out there. Obviously, save Jared, but we feel like with Watford and other guys stepping up that we can not miss a beat with the players we have on the roster.
My question would be, why trade Jared now if you didn't already have something lined up, like nothing materialized, you said? Because I think the argument that it was such good value, given that he's shooting 38.5% from the field this year, it's hard to argue that you're selling high on him. So there was no real downside risk of, you can make that trade at the draft, you can make that trade at a later date if it's just about the return. So why make the move now if nothing else had materialized?
No, I appreciate that perspective. I'm quite confident we were selling high. Yeah. Obviously time will tell. But the only other high point, and we weren't looking to sell, I'll be frank. Like, teams came to us with aggressive offers for him, and you could say, yeah, that's because he's a good player. I agree with that. We thought this return was above, for the future value for our franchise, what we could get. So the only higher point would have been during his run last season. But otherwise, we feel like we did time this well.
Do you believe you have organizational alignment on what you need to do to make the team better? And what I mean by that is, 18 months ago, whenever that was, you signed Paul George to a max contract, you extend Joel. Everyone knows you have a win now window in the next 2 years after Paul signs that deal. And last year was what it was, but this year you have Joel scoring 30 points a game for a month and a half. Tyrese is an all-star starter. BJ exceeds expectations. Paul plays well. So it just feels like there's a disconnect between recent major decisions that the organization made and having this type of thing.
Yeah, I understand. I do believe we are aligned. That's why I went through. Didn't get to talk about VJ. I'm glad you did. I mean, everything we have there is that he's on pace to be someone who's got a real chance to be a future All-Star, and he's playing great basketball, especially at ends of games where we've been in a lot of close games. Yeah, I think it's 100% aligned on, obviously we're in a phase where win now makes sense. I would just ask, and this is probably something we can maybe talk offline, like the opportunities that were out there, we didn't see any that moved the needle for our team. We just didn't. I'd be happy to talk offline with folks on which deals they saw that could have moved the needle for us that we could have done. They just weren't there, and so.
Darryl, while the Eastern Conference is still competitive, they are slightly more vulnerable with injuries like Tatum Halliburton. When you take away and aren't able to add this season, what position does that put the Sixers in this year to try to capture them?
Yeah, we like our chances in the East. We feel like we're in the mix with the top teams there. Obviously, we've got to prove that on the court. But yeah, I'm just reiterating. Yeah, we were hoping to add and we didn't add. So, but we still believe in this team. Like, it's still the team that people believed in. Folks have speculated on the improvements of our East competitors. I don't see it personally. I think all the teams, made moves at the deadline, but there weren't any needle movers in my opinion. So.
Yeah, you talked about right now you feel like you're so high on Kincade. Did you guys lose a little bit of faith in him?
I wouldn't say that. No, I think he has a tremendous future. I think, look, if you look, obviously, sort of the tell of people who don't like the deal, they'll leave off the whole return, minimize this draft, which we think is good, things like that. I'm not saying you personally, Keith. I'm just saying if folks who don't like the deal, they'll minimize. That return is for a starter quality player on a good team. It's actually above that. We do a lot of analysis on how we think things will play out both here and around the league going forward in terms of the quality of play, what kinds of returns will return, what players in the future. And the bottom line is Jared's a player who is a great future bet and a great potential great player, and we wish him luck. We feel like this return sets us up better to set up the team in the future better. That doesn't address our team now. So we did want to add now, and it didn't happen. So I think that's a fair reaction. And then I think it's a fair reaction to go back to Kyle's point. Did you time this well? Is this a fair return? All I can say is we do a lot of work on this, and we feel like it was well above that and well above what will help us down the road.
Daryl, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sorry, Keith.
Are you guys, I remember after you drafted DJ, you talked about the new NBA where teams have 4 guards. Are you still committed to that?
Well, that's a good point. I think what Nick does better than maybe any coach in the league is, and I think this is where the great coaches separate themselves, to my personal opinion, is takes the talent you have and figures out the best way to use them, both offensively and defensively. We had a very deep set of guards. We still do. We still have 3, our guard rotation of Tyrese, VJ, and Quentin, we feel stacks up very well around the league. The reason why I think we were playing a lot of 3-guard lineups is because Nick was like, that's our best way to win. But we were playing those less, frankly. I think you guys know that. And that was, again, giving us the best chance to win. Nick was looking for those best. So we were playing less of those. Does that factor in? It was more because you can go in and out of 3-guard lineups. It was more our path here is a little bit muted relative to where his path could be on another team. It would be hard for him to get to starter quality, which was the return that we got. Just to simplify it a little bit. Sorry, Marcus.
Daryl, you said I didn't see that there were any needle movers. There was a blockbuster trade to the Eastern Conference team. The guy used to be here, James Harden. Does that mean that you don't believe that's a needle mover? Part 1. And part 2, how sustainable do you think, or can you say, is this Joel Embiid model that we're seeing now?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about specific teams. I'm just saying, objectively, the teams in the East, the array is similar of if you were to look at, teams' chances before and after. That's just my opinion. I think people can have differences of opinion. In terms of trying to get to your second question was, how does it work? Do you mind asking again? I'm sorry.
The sustainability of the model that we're seeing him in now, and is this kind of the best you can envision, considering his injury history?
I see he's still improving. When I watch, obviously, credit to Joel, who's put in tremendous time and work to get to even the run he's gotten to. So I think we do need to acknowledge that and really talk about, and he's been very gracious to talk about the people around him who help him, but I think mostly it's the work he's put in to get to here. But I continue to see improvement. I know from my conversation with him that he feels like he's improving still. So we'll see. I mean, obviously time will tell.
And medically, have you been told that this is sustainable? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that, I mean, obviously it's, we're taking a little heat. We weren't able to add, so, I guess we're a little on our back heels today. But I will say, we talked a lot about, we thought that Joel could still get to this level and play this level. And I think there was a lot of very reasonable skepticism that that's the case. But all I ever had was talking to our medical staff and doctors, and there was a lot of confidence that he could get to this place if he puts the time in, and he has. And so I feel like that one, has played out in a positive way, and we do think it's sustainable, and we are excited about it. Yeah.
So right now, Tyrese leads the league in minutes. DJ is the highest rookie in minutes. You had 4 guys play almost 40 minutes last night. I guess, is there a concern about that usage? Also, is there a little concern about depth because you're having to play those guys?
Yeah, we feel like we're a deep team. Again, people might not agree, but we do feel like a deep team. In fact, there are many people who are writing that we were a deep team, so it wasn't just our opinion. I do think Nick is or is using our players in an optimal way to win games. For sure, you always want more good players than bad players. We still have 2 roster spots. We'll see what those, are still to come. Obviously, we're thrilled to use one of those spots on Barlow. So we'll continue to look to add in that marketplace as well. But, we do feel like we're a deep team. But even if we're a deep team, it doesn't mean that, playing guys how Nick is playing them is I agree with Coach Nurse. I think he's using our players in the best way to win games.
I know you mentioned several times. Several times that you tried to add, it didn't work out. But how much of your approach to the trade deadline was the staying below the luxury tax a consideration?
Again, I would just reference, for sure, if we had found an ad and we were going to end up higher, we would have ended up above it. We've done it several times when I was here. Over the history of ownership, they've done it many times. We didn't see something that did that, and then we're under the normal pressures that every team is feeling with the CBA, with the first apron to sign Barlow to this deal, things like that. So,
what is the support like from ownership that has vested interest in different markets? When you do see a move that you like that would put you above that tax?
Yeah, that's happened several times since I've been here. They're completely supportive. I think they ask, they provide all the reasons we can. They're both David and Josh are very engaged and involved, but in a good way, asking good questions, things like that. And when we're talking about, hey, here's potential deals we could do, it's a trade-off. How much will he help? What are we having to get up? Where do we end up relative to the CBA? All those things factor in. So, but they're tremendous support for us and appropriately involved is what I would say.
Daryl, you mentioned a couple of roster spots that will be open, I guess, in 9 days. Do you anticipate being a significant player in the buyout market, and does Jabari Walker factor into like a possible solution to one of those spots?
Yeah, Jabari for sure. It's sort of, not to reference our CBA we all live under, it's sort of like, annoying, I'll use the word, that, just how it all works, that Jabari can't play for some games here. But, yeah, there are, he's obviously, been part of our next man up mentality. I think Coach Nurse has done a good job, when we've had players in and out, which we've had less of this year, but we've still had quite a bit, especially with, recent Paul news, things like that. He's been a tremendous next man up type contributor, and we hope to have his services, going forward. But we do have to weigh optimal use of our, sort of scarce 2 roster spots and against the other opportunities as well. So, that'll be written over time, whether or not, we do that conversion there.
And in the buyout market, do you anticipate whoever the sort of higher profile buyout guys are that you guys can reasonably?
I think we're in the mix. I think they see a really good team or a really good market. So I have, we've had a lot of conversations already. We're obviously in competition with other teams, so I don't know if we'll get the first option necessarily, but we'll be in there with getting some of the top options, I think.
Darryl, when it comes to some of the moves that were made, some of the potential deals that were discussed, how heavily involved in the process was Nick Nurse as it comes to trying to form a team around his scheme offensively and defensively?
All right, that's Daryl Morey. I don't have to hear about Nick Nurse being involved in deals. We'll come back and get reaction. You want to now, Ray? Yeah.
Oh, we can come back to the reaction.
What I'm saying is, you want to break? You
Yeah,
want to step aside now?
A lot of reaction coming in.
A lot of reaction.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of reaction. Daryl Morey falls on the sword for the organization. Doesn't even he puts up a little bit of effort in trying to pretend that it was done for real trade purposes. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Morey speaks. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. You just heard from Daryl Morey going on a number of different topics, but really just ducking the luxury tax, whether he believed they were. He said they're willing to go into the luxury tax, said they believe that McCain has a tremendous future. They were excited about his future, and they were going to reuse the picks that they acquired in the Jared McCain deal in another deal. We'll be reacting to it. You can jump in with us at 610-632-0975 to react to what you just heard from Daryl Morey addressing the trade deadline for the 76ers, who fell in LA last night to the Lakers. Flyers lost last night as well. We'll have Mike Gill from Radio Row coming up at 1 o'clock. This update is brought to you by Aleve. Sometimes weather and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. Just one pill. Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the best birds. Talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Middays with Marks. Are you calm like a bomb? That's the name of the song.
Oh, nice.
I'm calm like a bomb. On the Sixers, I don't know. Is there that much vitriol out there?
We got a good club-esque.
No, the line was deep team. He said it maybe 7 times over the course of a minute. It's the good club. It is. It's the good club from Dombrowski. Deep team.
All right, so there's a couple ways to go about this conversation here. And I guess number one would be the luxury tax conversation, right? Like, Morey in that press conference, from my opinion, said, look, we had a great opportunity to cash in on Jared McCain. It was above the return that he thought they would get, so they struck. They were not afraid to go over. Look at past years. They've gone over the luxury tax, so that was not the case this time around.
So real fast on the return for McCain.
Yeah.
If you said it was a fair return for McCain, I would have said, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. I disagree. But they're
fair.
They're talking like
it's not what he said.
Well, what I'm saying is, if he would have said that,
yeah.
But the way he was talking was like, oh well, we had such great value, we had to make a deal early.
We cashed in.
Oh my God, a first round draft pick for a guy that was just drafted a couple years ago at 16. Oh, all those second round draft picks that nobody really wants. So, like, to me, but by the way, bottom line is it's ridiculous. He was trying to sell you that they did the trade because they were going to use the proceeds of that trade, and then they were going to make another trade. Here's what doesn't happen in sports. Because if that was the case, Alec Bohm wouldn't be a Philly right now. Do you know what Dave Dombrowski was doing when he realized the Bo Bichette thing could happen? He's trying to find a place he can trade Alec Bohm in case it happens. So they signed Bo Bichette. They don't wait 2 weeks and say, okay, well, we have to trade Alec Bohm now. They have a trade ready to go. Maybe it's not the trade they would have made without Bichette, because they need Bohm now. But if they know that they're bringing Bichette to play third base, they have to have a place to trade Bohm. So you have a contingency plan. All right, listen, if we make this signing, we're going to trade Bohm to you for this. You don't make the trade and figure out the things later. If you're moving on from Jared McCain, you don't – and he tried in the beginning to make it seem like they were doing that so they could get more to try to add. And he kind of gave up on that by the middle of the press conference.
Yeah.
Because he knows how stupid it sounds, and he doesn't believe it. Kyle Neubeck cornered him and asked him a great question, and he acknowledged it by saying, I think the line was, I appreciate your perspective on that. And then he gave the nonsense of how it has nothing to do with the luxury tax. Daryl Morey did what Daryl Morey had to do, and it would have been the same thing that I would have done in his position. Lie. You can't come out and throw your owner under the bus that this move was done because you were trying to save $7 million.
Yeah, he was giving the impression that they were going to be active, they were going to add, but nothing materialized. Now, he did offer the follow-up by, hey, we'll get a gaggle of reporters and I'll go over player for player that we could have possibly returned. So I want to hear more about that when that does happen. But you're right about Kyle Neubeck. There were great questions across the board. A lot of people ask good questions. I'll give credit to the Sixers reporters. They were on their they were on point today.
Here's Kyle and Daryl going back and forth.
My question would be, why trade Jared now if you didn't already have something lined up, like nothing materialized, you said? Because I think the argument that it was such good value, given that he's shooting 38.5% from the field this year, it's hard to argue that you're selling high on him. So there was no real downside risk of, you can make that trade at the draft, or you can make that trade at a later date if it's just about the return. So why make the move now if nothing else had materialized?
No, I appreciate that perspective. I'm quite confident we were selling high. Yeah. Obviously, time will tell. But the only other high point, and we weren't looking to sell, I'll be frank. Like, teams came to us with aggressive offers for him, and you could say, yeah, that's because he's a good player. I agree with that. We thought this return was above, for the future value for our franchise. All
right, stop it. Does he really believe that? He tried to sell it. He said, I'm quite confident that the retire on this trade was high. And right for a second, I thought, does he really believe that?
I don't think he believes it. I think, look.
How could you?
No.
It's a first-round draft pick in 3 seconds.
He's lying to you in one way or another. Either they're tremendously excited about his future, or this is what they believed he was worth. And I would lend to believe that the guy they drafted in the first round that was a Rookie of the Year favorite that shoots the ball really well and can handle the ball is probably someone they valued and had to give up.
Yeah, he tried. He tried for a little bit. He tried.
He did. It was.
But this idea that, well, yeah, I'm making the trade, and then we're going to, because he tried to sell we were trying to add at the trade deadline for a little bit. It's like when's the last trade that was made where you're trading for the guy first, and then you're trying to make a deal? They wouldn't have done the McCain deal if it was, he tried to let you believe they did the deal early because return was so high. So he said, hey, we got to make this trade right now.
Get all the pieces in place. Yeah.
Yeah, he woke up this morning like, man, I probably should have made the McCain deal because nothing materialized, huh?
This isn't a guy that didn't look good in his rookie year that you're trading just so you're like, you know what, we can still get a first-round draft pick out of it. This is a guy that actually showed promise and in the last 2 weeks looked good again. And you're going to take a pick that's going to be in the late 20s or mid-20s? It's nuts.
Yep, and there's going to be arguments on both sides, and I'm seeing one argument online that not all first rounds are created equal. It was a weak draft, so we got to stop talking about McCain in that manner. But his play on the court, let's focus on that. And, oh, by the way, what he was coming off of. I don't think it gets mentioned enough. And credit to Keith Pompey for saying it on the morning show where, like, he came off an injury, a thumb injury that takes you a little while to get used to in season. So, yeah, he was struggling this year. There's no doubt about it. Maybe there was a little something to the fact that they played, bad teams there last year with nobody helping him, and he was able to inflate his numbers. Whatever. McCain was a good piece to have on this team. He provided a little boost, a little electricity off the bench, and he was playing at a better rate at this point in time. So to move him, I'm just having a hard time getting there with Daryl Morey.
Well, and he was talking about adding. Oh, well, we were trying to add. So and then he kept going back to, well, we have a deep team.
Deep team.
It was the good club. But he was going back to the deep team, and he was talking about the core of the team. That's not going to affect the core of the team. The core of the team is still the core of the team. And he's right. And he's right about that. But you can't tell me that a guy that shoots the three, like he shoots threes, what if it's a 2-point game at the end of a game? You're down by 2 points. 3 seconds left to go. You're inbounding from under the basket. And is he going to be on the court for that? He could be, depending on how he's shooting. But, it never hurts to have that 3-point shooter, especially a guy that gets as hot as McCain does.
I mean, I go back to the Knicks series. I remember everyone being livid at the end of that Game 6. Like, hey, you saw Buddy Hield for the first half have the game of his life, and they didn't go back to him. It's like, yeah, that's a guy that had fallen out of favor, but it's because you valued shooting the basketball that he was on that team, and he nearly shot you into a win against that Knicks team in that series. Like, you can never have enough shooting, nor can you have enough young guards that can run the floor.
You went into the deadline wanting to add, but you subtracted, and you didn't add.
Yeah.
Not only did you not stand pat, you subtracted. Sean Bernard, who you'll see on Crossing Broad, great 76er reporter.
Oh, he's hot.
He's going to join us coming up next. Is he mad?
Yeah, he's hot.
So he's not going to be positive Sixers on this?
No.
Oh,
no. Sean's
okay.
hot. That's why I was like, yeah, man. We love your opinion. Let's go.
All right, that's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Sixers are opening eyes and starting to make people believers.
in the mix with the top teams there. Obviously, we got to prove that on the court. But yeah, I'm just reiterating. Yeah, we were hoping to add, and we didn't add. So, but we still believe in this team. Like, it's still the team that people believed in. Folks have speculated on the improvements of our East competitors. I don't see it personally.
We didn't see it. It's Daryl Morey. Woo! All right, we'll get some reaction here. Daryl Morey came up to the podium. He was actually, I think he might have been sitting down, so he wasn't standing.
Yep.
And he came out and he answered the questions. He gave a valiant effort to pretend that this wasn't about money. And this was all about money. And maybe a little bit of a tip of the cap. Like, he's looking at the guys knowing, I know you have to ask these questions, and I have to answer them like this. Make no mistake about it. You don't trade away a young player like Jared McCain. As Kyle Newbeck pointed out, you could trade him in the offseason just like any other player.
Yep.
You weren't risking. They didn't offer you 2 first-round draft picks, and you said, we have to do this. Daryl Morey's trying to say that they made the trade because they got back so much, and they were planning on using that to make a trade to add to the team. Okay, sure you do. You make the trade, and then you make the other trade. That's how it works. One goes with the other. But if the bounty was so high, that's why they had to make the trade. A first-round draft pick and 3 seconds? Oh, my God.
Yeah, at the end, he said, before we cut out, he said, quote, we were a little on our back heels since we were unable to add. As it went on, I feel like he was letting his guard down just a little bit, and the honesty was starting to rise to the top.
He was less confident in, he wasn't trying to sell it as much as it went on.
There you go. That's perfectly stated.
Right? Like, he's like, all right, I gave my best effort.
Wink, wink. Oh, by the way, I'll meet all you guys over here so we can talk about these players that were offered.
Right. Yeah. We'll go to the phones here. By the way, Daryl lost a couple of LBs.
Oh, yeah, man. Looks good.
I did a side-by-side comparison, and he lost a good.
2 ways of looking at it. One, he lost some LBs, but on the other side, he looks like he aged a little bit. A little bit. This job is getting to him, maybe. A little bit.
He's not much. I mean, all right.
The grays. Well, what? I mean, just the grays and, okay.
Yeah, he's got it real rough. Daryl Morey, he's making double-digit $1 million a year, and we hear from him a couple times a year. Yeah, I feel real bad for him.
Taking it to heart. He had to move McCain.
Now, you think about the stress level of if Daryl Morey's making $10+ million a year, how many moves is he actually making? And then you got Nick Sirianni, who wins Super Bowls, and we're ready to run him out of town. Kevin Petullo's getting his house egged.
Can I take a debate? Can I take the over on 10.5 too for Morey?
Yeah, he's making a ton of money.
I bet.
All right, let's go to Sean Bernard from Crossing Broad, a great 76ers reporter and voice in this town. What's up, Sean?
Yeah, what's going on, fellas? I'm fired up today.
All right, what do you got?
Well, I will say I'm a Daryl Morey guy, and for what it's worth, I do think he is aging like a president right now. But this is the first time in the Daryl Morey era that it's felt like he's just directly lied on the stage to us. Like, he's obviously done his little wordplay and beat around the bush a little bit. There's just straight inaccuracies that he's sitting up there and saying, which I kind of honestly find like offensive. Like, the Dominic Barlow thing is the biggest one to me, where he keeps talking about that he makes these moves to carve a pathway. The reality is that's the whole reason why you entered the season with 14 guys on roster, and none of the finances match what he's saying there. And then the Jared McCain thing's a whole different conversation. But I don't get how you can sell this as a positive in any shape or form. I don't think it's fair value for the dude. I do think you're selling low, and you can't paint this as either a build for the future or win now because you just subtracted.
As far as selling low, why do you say that? Because at the end of the day, McCain was, struggling to start the season. Like, could they have gotten more in the offseason? Why do you say that, Sean?
So they drafted Jared McCain 16th overall last year. He went and had a flash of a 23-game period where he was the clear-cut Rookie of the Year favorite. They just traded him for the first-round pick this year, which is the Houston Rockets, which is probably going to be like the 24th-ish pick, and then 3 second-round picks, which out of the 3, there's only one of them that has like a remote chance to be below like the 45th pick. So they're basically nothing draft picks there. I think the reality is, and reading between the lines, this organization just didn't believe in Jared McCain is the reality. And it's fair to point to that, like, you can have the conversation of there might not be a long-term pathway to him being a key part of this team with Tyrese Maxey, with VJ Edgecombe, but this wasn't anything to help this team. If you're going to make the win now push, which is the slant that Daryl Morey was taking, why wasn't there Kenrick Williams coming back or Jalen Williams coming back in that trade? That could have been a position of need with that Thunder team. Or if this is building for the future, why are you giving up on a young player that's actually shown promise right now? So I kind of don't think it makes sense for either direction there, and it does tie back to the finances, even if they're going to ignore that.
Yeah,
point.
I mean, like you had said, Sean, I think that's fair. Even the way that Morey talked about the return for McCain, maybe we look at him a little bit differently than the rest of the league does, right? So if that's the case, and there isn't the value that, like, you don't have to trade him. You can wait till the offseason. He can come in next year and be a role player. Now, you don't have to re-sign Quentin Grimes like he's going to say that is something, the reason why they would do this. He's under contract. It's controlled. You know how much money he's making. There's no real upside to making this trade right now other than for financial reasons. Like, literally, just us even trying to break down this anything more than that. This was they did this for financial reasons. Let's start trying to explain it otherwise.
And they've also told anyone that would listen for the past year of this is basically a 2-year recovery period, that he had the long meniscus surgery. It wasn't like the cleanup that Joel went through to get back on the court as soon as possible. This was the long-term recovery, which I support. Like, that's the right decision for a 20-year-old kid when he did tear this right now. But it's reasonable to not have, like, legitimate expectations for him this year. And the thing that I gave McCain more of a pass than I think, like, the general population, it was the torn ligament in the thumb that I really think impacted him this year, because that meant he missed training camp. He missed preseason, and it's really hard to incorporate yourself to a team when you're now playing next to Joel Embiid, Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. Quentin Grimes wasn't here when he was traded here last year. So it's a lot for him to fit in, and he had been playing his best basketball of late. So I just don't get putting on a young player that's shown some promise for no upside there, just other than the financial standpoint.
Yeah, good stuff, Sean. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Wait, how often are you writing on Crossing Broad?
Yeah, I had a couple of nice primers coming up. I'll have something a little bit more long-form on kind of this whole deadline. So that'll be dropping in probably this weekend. I wanted to take a step back and hear Daryl Morey. I had some scorched earth takes last night, but I figured I'd hear him out. I think I'm going right back to what I had written before. So that'll be out relatively soon.
All right, get it out there. Thanks, Sean.
Good tease. Nice work by Sean. Yeah, Sean had a piece up on Crossing Broad before the trade deadline 2 days ago that I referenced that actually listed other trades, other targets other than Giannis, and how you can improve the team. And I thought it was well written, and there are players out there. You don't have to be a diehard to know that Bobby Portis has some role that could come in here and fit. You don't have to be a diehard Sadiq Bey that could come in and help. There were players that you could go out there and improve this team. Daryl Morey, get creative, make it happen. And it obviously wasn't the opportunity was not there. They needed to do one thing and one thing only, and that was to get underneath the number.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe Gordon's move because they were trying to. That now the buyout market happens, and they can still add. They can still add by one of the guys that's going to get bought out.
Yeah, the Eric Gordon picture flashed on my timeline.
Well, as soon as we got off the air, Ray was literally cursing in the hallway, livid.
Deadlines get deals done, boys.
Ray wanted to be the one to break it that Eric Gordon had been traded from the Sixers. Ray, what's your favorite Eric Gordon moment? Your go-to?
Oh, man. Probably when we were trying to figure out who leaked the Maxey and people were pointing to him. I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it was. I'm not throwing out that accusation. I'm just saying.
He said it wasn't him.
All right, Black Grady's coming up after this. Mike Gill next segment as well, live from Radio Row.
Maybe 1:30.
Maybe 1:30. See what's going on out there. A.J. Brown recorded a podcast yesterday. Hopefully it comes out. Can it come out now?
Dudes on Dudes.
Yeah. He's on the Dudes on Dudes podcast. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5, the Fanatic, 12 o'clock hour of the program. Brought to you by Service First HVAC. That's right, 0% financing for 48 months. Rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more, ServiceFirstHVAC.com.
Now on 97.5, the Fanatic Sports Update.
Before he speaks, I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Daryl Morey took to the podium and addressed everything that went on with the Sixers trade deadline and a lot of questions about whether or not they were ducking the tax, whether or not that they were actually looking to improve the team. He said they were looking to add. They were obviously looking to get Jared McCain out of here to make another move, according to him. They're excited about the future of McCain, but had to move him to go make another move. If you believe him, that's a whole other story. But we'll continue to break down everything Daryl Morey had to say throughout his presser. You can get in with us at 610-632-0975. The Sixers last night losing to the Lakers out in L.A., falling in that one. The Flyers also losing last night in that game. We'll have a Radio Row check-in with Mike Gill coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, best birds talk in town, 97.5.
the only other high point, and we weren't looking to sell. I'll be frank. Teams came to us with aggressive offers for him, and you could say, yeah, that's because he's a good player. I agree with that. We thought this return was above, for the future value for our franchise, what we could get. So the only higher point would have been during his run last season, but otherwise we feel like we did time this well.
During his run last season, he was favored to win the Rookie of the Year. What are you talking about? You have to be realistic. Maybe we're overvaluing. I look potential. He's in the second year. In the second year, if he actually develops more, then you have a cost-effective, even if he's a bench player that comes in and provides energy and scoring for the next 3 years.
Yep.
It's impossible not to recognize that part of his game. To act like that, wow, it was just too good of a trade. We had to take it, or you're going to pass it up. Maybe they would move on. What are we talking about? First-round draft pick? What are we talking about?
Also, with more PT coming down, Main Street for him, right? Paul George out for the next 23 games. He was going to be a little bit more bumped up in the rotation, playing much better, healing up as far as the thumb injury is concerned. There was just no reason to move him. And unless you got better, unless you got something in return, and they failed to do so.
And they went into the process looking to buy, but somehow they sold a young, inexpensive player for a first-round draft pick and second-round draft picks.
And the Sam Presti side of things, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I read yesterday, the stat is the first time that he traded for a first-round pick since 2015, I want to say.
He traded one of his first?
Yeah, so it's he's like, wait a minute, this is an opportunity for us to go ahead and get somebody like that. They jumped at the opportunity.
Yeah, obviously, when you have a chance to make the Thunder better, that's what you should do. That's good for
they're
basketball.
buddies.
Yeah, I know.
They're buddies. That's a relationship there. That's how he gets them. No, but in all seriousness.
Well, that will come back our way when SGA is available, right? We'll be able to get SGA here.
Some would say that maybe him taking Horford off your hands however many years ago was the first, and that's why you do it again.
Wink, wink.
Right? I don't know. But if you want to say that you traded McCain, you thought it was fair value for where your team was and right now, all right, that, then you have a better chance. But you cannot sell me any minute of any day that what they got back for Jared McCain was great value. Or even, wait. If you're getting that back, you wait.
Yep.
If you want to trade him because you don't think it's a fit long term, wait. Someone will take him in the offseason because it wasn't about that. It was about money. It was about money. And Morey kept just trying to go back to that, but then he's talking about we have a good club and we have a deep team, and the core of this team hasn't changed. That's still here. And I can't imagine Morey was looking to do this trade. Let's go to Black Gritty from blackgritty.com, who is, I don't believe he's a big Daryl Morey fan. Black Gritty, how are you?
Hey, guys. Daryl Morey is an idiot sandwich, okay? Elton Brand is stealing money. Josh Harris needs to sell the team. He's running it like it's a check cashing joint, and you just need some free payday loans from people. You want free money? Why don't you fire Elton Brand the $8 million you're paying him to do absolutely nothing? First of all, you come out here with the black jerseys, the 25-year anniversary. Well, guess what? You trade away a young guy that people love. My daughter was crying. She loved McCain. She told me about McCain before he went to Duke. That's how much she was on McCain. She knew. And again, trading out for injury to OKC, a place that processed you better than you processed. They processed so good, they had 3 Hall of Famers take them to the finals and lose to the King and then get back with all their trades and flips. But they want the young guy that you got after a year? I guarantee they develop him. Nick Nurse over here acting like he's Nick Sirianni, got KP sitting down at the end of the bench. Kyle Lowry, for what reason? For what reason? Eric Gordon's on my team for what reason? You got people that can't read the playbook, Nick? You got to have this dude tell people bedtime stories? It's got to be 1985. The Eagles are falling apart. I can't have my coaches here because Nick's run out South University. The only thing that's been here for my 3 Super Bowl legacy run. And then I got the Flyers just going into the tech. Hey, it's business as usual. The Phillies are running it back with older dudes. Just want more money.
We have a good club.
And then I got this idiot sandwich. Daryl Morey never won nothing. He's never been to the finals. Take your analytics and shove them up your nostrils and breathe a little bit better, because I'm overweight too, and I know how it is. But in your interviews, it's embarrassing. You idiot sandwich. Have a great weekend, guys. Seahawks by 20.
Oh, Black Gritty bringing it there. I just want to point out that if his daughter's paying attention to Duke. He was only there for one season. That's pretty impressive, Black Gritty. Nice work by your daughter, that kid. Look, it is. Is it a bad time in Philly sports?
Yes,
it is.
Yeah.
Huh.
But here's also the thing that the Sixers managed to do, because Daryl Morey came out in the beginning and he acknowledged the reaction from the fans. He acknowledged it. He said,
he knows.
He said, I understand. He knows. He knows this wasn't his idea to do this. He knows this is Joshua Harris. This is an ownership thing. When an owner starts making decisions, and this isn't the old days. This isn't a car dealer that owns a team.
Mm-hmm.
This is a multi-billionaire that has other multi-billion teams that he owns. Saving $7 million. Making a trade that is saving $7 million. I'm sorry if the Sixers were 20-35 and you wanted to do this. Absolutely. Shed payroll, the team's got nothing. We just started feeling good about this team. We just started talking about how Embiid's playing like the old MVP Embiid. The All-Star game's coming up. Maxi's a starter. Edgecombe looks like a stud. No one's complaining about knowing out there going after Giannis, are they? No one's complaining about that. People are being positive on the 76ers for the first time in a really long time. Look at me. I've even come around. I've been praising Joel. I'm enjoying watching it. So what do? They make a trade for $7 million and they sell. They don't add. So think about that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Sixers fans have been kicked in the balls for years. Flyers fans and Sixers fans, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the lack of success this franchise has had.
I was yelling
over years.
On Saturday night, John, with the banner. They took the banner down from 0-1 to take a picture in front of it. First of all, it's not a championship banner, but it's an Eastern Conference final. But it's a championship banner. I'll ride with you on that one. Different logo, though. I didn't like that. Somebody was pointing that out to me as well. You got to bring the 0-1 logo if you're going to put a banner. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. But it's been a long time since this team's won anything. So, yes, you have an opportunity now where you went out and made those moves last year that told us all to believe in Paul George and Joel Embiid and Maxey. And this is the trio. This is the trio that's going to make it happen. And now this season, it actually is coming together, looks positive. We know what we're dealing with Paul George, but I keep going back to this point. This is the last time for you to improve your ball club before that long haul, the second half of the season, where everybody starts to lull themselves to death. And, of course, the playoffs, which are a whole nother season in itself. This was the last time for you to improve your roster, your team, and you failed to do so.
Deep team.
Yeah, deep
Blatant.
team. Yeah.
No, blatantly because of finances. Blatantly.
That's it.
We have an owner that is making, because Jeffrey Lurie doesn't do that. John Middleton certainly doesn't do that. And the Flyers don't do it. And I'm not telling you that the Flyers are a well-run organization. They're not coming out in a year where fans are actually, could you imagine if the Flyers were on a run, that run continued, and at the trade deadline they dumped salary and dumped a player because they wanted to get underneath the luxury tax? Do you imagine that? The Phillies are making trades at the trade deadline instead of adding to the team. They're taking away because of money. Do you imagine? That's what the Sixers just did.
Nobody would sign off on that. Nobody. Not one fan out there.
Even if McCain, and this isn't a guy that you're living and dying with. This isn't making or breaking your franchise. It's the idea that they've decided to make finances more important than potentially someone that could help you this year and in the future.
Bingo.
And they didn't add to the team either.
Nope. And that's the issue.
And then Daryl's up there trying to make the case everything's fine. It's because of the return.
Deep team.
I want to know, man. I got to hear from somebody in the gaggle of, what were some of the names that were being tossed out there? What were some of the players that we were trying to target that nothing materialized? I think you used that word a number of times.
I'm sure they were out there looking around.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm sure there was a lot of tough asking prices. But this is the job. This is what you needed to do. You got to get creative, Daryl. And he's not afraid to do it. He's done it in years past. Use your connections. Use your wink, your nod. Go get a player that can help this team where they're flawed, whether it's on the glass or from three. Just something to at least give some belief to this fan base. We deserve that. Instead, you sold because of money, because of tax, because your owner told you to do so, and now you're lying to us. Yeah, not good.
Literally, they had a chance. Everybody was happy. Ray, if they don't add it to trade deadline, no one says anything. You agree?
Probably would have been a little disappointed with the inaction. I don't think I'd be sitting up here livid.
No, I would have had.
Are you livid?
I would
Yeah.
have had less than a reaction.
John's livid.
Yeah, no, I almost feel powerless. Like, I've always been powerless, but you know that feeling when you finally realize you're powerless and all this? It's like, wow. You know, you dedicate how much time to this, and, like, what it comes down to is just making sure that we could get under a tax number.
Right.
Like, that's the feeling you have right now, where it's like, yeah, I've got tickets to, like, 5 more games this season. It's like, I'll be excited to watch Embiid, to watch Maxey, but it's like, your desire to actually pay off anything I've watched is so low that it comes down to, I just have to get under a number. That's the, like, almost criminal thing of it.
Yeah, this is the first time that for the most part, Josh Harris hired good people. They had Joel Embiid. They spend a lot of money. Everything else, was it his fault that they hadn't won a championship? Everybody always pointed out that all this stuff continues to happen, and normally that starts with the guy at the top, and then it just trickles down. And I would defend him for the most part, because I didn't see any of that. It's hard to, like, now I can officially say we have a team and we have an owner that doesn't really care about winning and cares about everything else.
I want to ask this question. I don't remember if it did happen, but did anyone reference Joel Embiid bringing up the fact that, like, hey, man, this is the time. Normally we're worried about the tax, blah,
Ducking
blah, blah.
the tax?
Yeah, did anybody reference that in a question to Maury? I didn't pick up on that.
They had asked him about consulting players and referenced Joel Embiid. And so, of course, we talk. He gave the same standard, you know.
But you're right. You have to corner him with Joel Embiid said last week or 2 weeks ago that the team ducked the luxury tax the last couple of years, and he was hoping that you would add.
And this is a guy that
Did you hear those comments, and
Yeah.
how do you respond to that?
Yep.
Well, I talked to Joel, and
Yeah.
he also starts the press conferences always out of breath, and then he catches it.
Hey, man, that's a long walk, I would imagine.
Yes, I mean,
It's a big facility over there.
What is he doing? Steps?
It's a beautiful facility in Camden.
I think he's coming up from the steps. He's got to be coming down the steps.
He's not
Or coming
walking
from an outside room.
You got to get the first floor office.
He's
No, I know where it is. It's on the second floor.
The mezzanine.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at you guys.
I know where it is, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
On media day, I was there when they announced
All right.
George Maxey. I've been sitting in this seat a
Nice
little bit.
cafeteria. It's a nice
cafeteria.
really nice cafeteria.
Which is what I mean. Is there a maze beyond that cafeteria that he's navigating? And it's like, let's lead Maury to the presser. It's like he knows where he's going.
Did he just get off the elliptical and then he went right in? He said, hold on, let me finish my workout.
I played a media game there once. I hit a three-pointer.
Oh, good stuff.
Did you throw from the top of the key like
There was actually
getting a Fresh Prince?
This was years ago. And it might have. And there was like 14. This was a serious media day. It was wild. It was good. I don't think they've ever. I don't think I've ever got the invite back. They've probably
But
done
the
it
one
again.
year you got the invite.
Yeah, man. Mark Lamont Hill was on my team.
Did you win the MVP?
No. I think we lost the championship game, if I'm not mistaken. I remember I bricked one too.
What, it was a round robin tournament?
It was like, it was something like that.
So it wasn't the PAL game. It was a
No,
real
this
media
was a
game.
real deal joint. They came in, stretched us out. DJ Ghost playing the tunes.
Oh, wow.
Great time. Yeah,
Look at that.
beautiful facility.
I'd like to get invited to one of those.
Nah.
One of them.
Have you ever been in the PAL, Police Athletic League?
Oh, I've
True
invited
true
anything.
story. I've been very lucky to do at Citizens Bank Park softball. Love that. Only did one time basketball, right? This was in the tank years, and it was a Golden State Warriors game. Place was sold out. It's Police Athletic League basketball game. I get out there. I stink at basketball. I'm terrible at basketball. I played football, baseball in high school. I am terrible at basketball. I get out there, and I guard this kid. Kid had a mustache. There's no way you're telling me he's 12 years old. He had a mustache. I get out there. I get the ball, and he picked my pocket in front of a sold-out crowd at halftime for the Golden State Warriors in the tank years. And it was horrendous. I felt horrible, man. It was the lowest I've ever felt trying to play ball in my life. Kid picked my pocket, took it to the rim, laid it in.
Well, because an adult wouldn't be as much of a hardo to press you on defense, right?
I got the ball inbound. I'm like, all right, I'll take it up. I'm dribbling one-handed. No, I don't look like Dave Portnoy or Darren Rovell. I actually
that's a real high bar.
Yeah, as if anyone looked worse this weekend than him out there in Frisco. Good grief, kid. Stay in the Keys.
Well, the knockout tournament should be coming up, right, Ray?
That's right.
Next month? Do we know when it
Should
is?
be March something.
All right. There you go. So, Sean, you're going to get your chance.
I can lay it in, but I'm not dribbling.
It's really all about being able to have the controllable miss. Because
call.
inevitably, most of us are missing the free throw. It's
Soft
just about
rims.
not going too far.
Yes.
If it ricochets and goes into the crowd, that's how you lose.
Right.
That's
or
what
how
happened
you
to
end
Ricky.
up pushing one of your coworkers to the ground and then throwing a basketball at them.
Right. That's what happened to Ricky is that the ball went, and Ray was right there. He missed it, but it went very close to the basket.
I just want Nate in front of me. That's all I want. I want Nate in front of me.
You want to knock out Nate?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm coming for Nate.
Is it the hair?
It's the fact he referenced me as Cabbage Patch Kid and Mr. Magoo. I know who it is. Don't think I don't know, Nate. I'm coming for you.
Did Dutsy sell him out?
No, Dutz is he's a tough one to pin down too, but it's all Nate. I could tell. I know.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
something from the call screener back there if you look at
There
your
you
call
go. All
screener
right.
right now.
So there you go. In-show fighting on Knockout. He's going to take – Nate is challenging you. Or he's accepting your challenge.
He says, kick my butt anywhere, and he used the A word. All right.
Oh, we put that on work computers.
Coming.
Wow.
Coming.
Catholic. It's very un-Catholic-like.
How about that? That violates at least one commandment.
Sure does. All right, so does this – how does this make you feel about the rest of the season? I mean, that's really – because, like, all right, you lost Jared McCain. To me, it's more insulting than anything else that you're going to do it for financial reasons and it doesn't help the team and you felt good about the team. It is insulting. I'm completely insulted by Josh Harris and the Sixers.
Yeah, look, I think get past it eventually, right? And, And, it's water underneath the bridge.
Yeah, by the next time they get a win, then you forget about it.
Correct.
Really, it's all coming down to how Joel Embiid plays in the playoffs. Agreed?
Absolutely. And that's, before we went to Maury, I was telling you about a tweet that I read this morning that, and I've been holding back on this because it's not time. And this is from the guy that was somewhat anti-Embiid. This was coming from the guy that said, you know what, giving him that contract extension was a mistake, and I still might stick with that. But I'm willing to sit here and say, man, he's been playing unbelievable. Sure he looks fresh. He looks youthful out there. Defensively, a little step slower, no doubt about that. That's only going to happen as time goes on. But the numbers are the numbers. I never really felt like the numbers were going to be, drastically lower because he's got touch. But I will give Embiid all the credit in the world. Long-winded. The issue is now people want to pound the pavement and beat their chest over. Hey, look, everyone owes Embiid an apology. No. I'll apologize in May. I'll apologize hopefully in June. After the season's over. I'm not apologizing right now because guess what? It's not about right now. It never was. It never was. If you were somewhat of an Embiid detractor at this point in time in his career, it's about the fact that he can't stay healthy. That's it. End of story. So if you want to celebrate now in February, on February 6th, all right, go ahead. Get yourself a parade. Embiid looks great.
You want to crown him, then crown him.
You want to crown him, then crown him.
That's right.
But right now, it's February 6th. We got a long way to go.
So do they want me to apologize to Joel Embiid because he was, quote, late for everything that Tyrese Maxey had to call him out? Because that's what this is about, that as much as it's about anything else.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid's a great talent. I think there's reasons why they haven't advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, and there's a variety of them. His health, his supporting cast, and him. The way that he's played, the way that he conducts himself. The way that when he didn't win the MVP, he moped around that night in the playoffs. There's a reason why, as they go, Joel Embiid goes. That's a lot of star players. But if your best player is a guy that you can't rely on being on time to things, you think that just started before Tyrese Maxey said something? Or you think that's Joel Embiid?
He was handed the keys to the franchise from the beginning. He didn't play the first two seasons. All right? All love and respect. I could see how great he was. He didn't earn a damn thing, and they were like, here you go. Same thing with Ben Simmons. It's not the way to run an organization.
You probably learned from that, too.
I would hope. Like we talk over to the ice as far as with Mitchkoff and talking, the way that's all going. It's like those things will come back to bite you if you don't handle it the right way. It's all easy for us to sit here and say, no, you got to play him. And no, give him what he wants. He's a superstar.
But this season, it seems like everybody is.
Yes.
Everybody's kind of pulling in the right direction.
Which really irks me more than trading McCain. Why mess with the chemistry, John?
Poor Maxey crying.
You got Maxey crying.
I mean, he really was. It really seemed like he was going to cry. Like he didn't expect that question was going to be asked of him right away.
No, I just don't think he could handle it. When he got drafted, he cried. I don't know if you know that.
It's a natural reaction to something so overwhelming.
I'd cry if I was getting drafted,
He's
too.
an emotional guy. And he sounded like, that's his little brother. That's his little bro right there. My first rookie veteran.
I bet there was crying inside of that wherever they were when they found out.
But you know what it is? It's deflating. Because when Joel Embiid comes out and he talks about ducking the apron, or did he say luxury tax? Whatever he said, he talked about ducking the tax. You think he's the only one that knows about that? Obviously, it's conversation in the locker room. They're asking who's coming, who's going. Can we add anybody? What can we do? And then they trade McCain? Instead of adding to the team, they trade a young kid that they all love. It's just bad for morale.
And for Embiid, him being the one to say duck the tax, he's the one saying, guys, I'll be the one to say this. Like, I don't think he's got that leadership to him where he's like, hey, guys, listen, everyone pipe down. Don't worry about it. I'll try and do what I can here. I think it's just him being like, I'm going to verbalize this one. Maxey's kind of good cop when it comes to, I think, persona and, like, perception of everyone. And Embiid's just, I'm going to say whatever I want. And he's saying what everyone's thinking in there.
Right.
Of like, hey, we can't. Well, you can't sell us that we're good, that we're going to be better if we duck the tax.
I'll be curious what he says about this.
There was something that Kai Carlin put out. The audio is not great of him after last night.
Last night.
Late in the hours.
Yeah, he may not. At some point, he's probably going to speak just like he did right there. But Joe likes being like, oh, but, it's okay. Like, he'll say something to make the point, and then he'll say, but, we'll be fine. It'll be okay. Yeah. To where what he originally saying is what he feels.
That's the point, yeah.
Whose team is it right now? I'm just curious. Is it Embiid's or is it Maxey's?
No, it's Maxey's.
Even though the way Embiid's playing?
Embiid's been very clear about this. The franchise is Maxey.
Okay. I agree. I just was like, wait a minute. You see what Embiid's doing
Best
again.
Player doesn't equal leader. And I think in this case.
But also, I think the franchise, if for whatever reason they needed to align with one side, they're easily aligning with Tyrese Maxey.
I agree.
And it's tough. Man, it's tough to move on from a player as important as Joel Embiid has been to the Sixers. He's one of the best players in franchise history.
Oh, yeah.
Period. Most talented player I've ever seen in Philadelphia. But if it came down to it, if they can make their team better and get rid of that contract, they'd do it. And they do it.
Daryl Morey? He gave him the contract.
But and how does Josh Harris feel about that right now?
Who's getting the final shot? If you were drawing it up right now, you need a game winner. Who are you drawing it up for? Embiid or Maxey?
It's going to Embiid. I'm playing off of Embiid. Whether or not Embiid makes a read to get it to Maxey is a different question. But I'm going
What, you're
Embiid.
putting it in the post and then...
Not going to the post. I'm getting him somewhere at the elbow.
That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea, man.
Okay.
How many turnovers have we seen?
Read me Maxey's percentage late.
Listen, I don't disagree, and I didn't answer right away because I was trying to decide. But you're saying Embiid so easily. I don't know, man. The problem with Embiid in the playoffs is when you have to force it to him, they all know it. They all know it.
And he knows that they're coming for him.
Okay, but that means he's got to kick it back out.
I'm getting to the VJ to Maxey. Maxey hits the three or shot, whatever.
Man, you know what? I guess that's a good problem to have that they actually have a couple of
now it's the
options.
You actually can answer not Embiid, and we can have that discussion.
All right, Mike Gill's going to join us live from Radio Row.
You know who you just sat down with?
No.
Your girl.
Who?
Diana Rossini.
Mike Gill interviewed Diana Rossini.
Just had her at the table.
Oh, I'm sure it was dynamite content.
They're laughing in the picture.
I'm sure they were. Listen, I'm sure in person everybody likes her. She seems like a very nice person.
Everybody's great in person.
Yes,
social media is the poison.
I'm sure she's fine. We'll talk to Mike Gill about that and everything else. When is this AJ Brown podcast being? They're gonna wait till we're off the air. All right, that's next. Don't go anywhere.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Daryl speaks. Summary done with this Fanatic Sports Update. Daryl Morey addressed the media following the trade deadline as Morey both shipped McCain to OKC, shipped Gordon to the Grizzlies, and obviously was asked a lot about that first deal, the McCain deal. He talked about what they were looking to do at this trade deadline.
Yeah, I'd say we were trying to add to the team, and we didn't find a deal that made sense, that we thought could move the needle on our ability to win this year.
We'll continue to react to everything that Daryl Morey had to say. The 76ers losing last night out in L.A. Flyers also lost last night. They lost at home to the Senators in overtime. Radio Row going on out there ahead of the Super Bowl. We'll head out there coming up next to talk to Mike Gill about everything going on. This update's brought to you by Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Tomorrow it's Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship at Xfinity Mobile Arena with Knuckle Mania 6 featuring a heavyweight title fight plus Conor McGregor and many more. Tickets at bkfc.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, best bird talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Live from Radio Row. Is it in San Francisco? Oh, yeah. I didn't even see you had the.
All right, I didn't know he was there. That's good. That's good. Good work by you.
Sean has the German Shepherd. No, put it back on.
I brought the mask, John.
I forgot my poodle mask. I didn't even look over. I was trying to look up something real fast. Did you have that during there? Or did you just get that afterwards?
No, I had it. I had it during the run. I ended up scooping it really early. When did they first?
Did we talk about this? By the time I was trying to get it, the German Shepherd masks were sold out. I had to get the poodle mask.
Yeah, I ended up scooping it up. The first time I saw it, I think on the sideline, I'm like, "Yep, gotta get one of those."
Hey, you sound great with the mask.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Let me take a hold on. Don't take it off yet. I'm going to take a picture of you. Joining us right now from Radio Row. He's not wearing a German Shepherd mask. I hope not. His name is Mike Gill, 97.3 FM ESPN down in Atlantic City. And, of course, you hear him right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's going on, Gill? How are you?
I lost you. You still there?
We're here. What's up, dude?
Oh. I'm doing good. I don't know that I've ever talked to Sean Brace before. What's up, Brace?
Mike Gill, the great Mike Gill. I've heard you many, many times on, of course, this station, but national, too, as well, ESPN Radio. But great to hear from you, man. I see you're kicking butt and taking names out there.
It's been a day. We haven't even gone live. My show doesn't go live for another half hour, but we've had a morning already.
All right, so what? And Mike, you sound great right now. Where you're calling in from? It sounds like you're in a can.
Hold on.
What's been going on so far
Better.
this morning?
Better?
It's better. What's been going on this morning? You sound like you had a crazy morning. What's going on?
That better?
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Sorry.
No, what's going? So what you're talking about?
How are you at Radio Row and don't have a signal? How is that possible?
Well, he's inside the convention center.
Oh, gotcha.
Dude, there's 150 stations all pulling off the same Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So what happened this morning? It's craziness, right?
So, my show will go live down the shore at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock here. But I've been here since 7 o'clock. I mean, I just had Barry Sanders. I have him coming up. Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship. I talked to them. They will be on at 5 o'clock tonight. We just got done talking to Diana Rossini. She gave us a little nugget about what's going on with A.J. Brown.
Okay, what did she say?
Well, her prediction is that he will not be here and that there's stuff going on. That it sounds like, and this is what we talked to her about. I said, when you report something, when people don't like it, they blame you. But when they do like it, like, well, Diana Rossini said it. So it's like, we pick and choose when we like her reporting, when we don't. I'm just going off of what she insinuated was she doesn't think AJ will be here. And that there's a lot of stuff going on in that.
Right. So what she did was that she said what everybody else already knows. She told you.
Possibly. I mean, I'm down here. I don't know what you guys are talking about back there.
But what you said was that he's probably not coming back, and there's a lot of stuff going on with A.J. Brown, right? I mean, that's hardly breaking news.
More so, no. More so just in the building. In the building, not A.J., because I asked her, does he not get along with somebody? Is it a strife between him and somebody else? Not necessarily. It's just more his role in the offense he's grown increasingly frustrated with, which I think we all know.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Is he willing to give the new coordinator a shot? That I don't know.
Okay, so the story was not advanced. All right, so what are people saying about – so there was a lot of Stoutland. I don't know what you were saying about it, Mike, but Stoutland, he leaves. There's more reporting by Jeff McClain. Now, I mean, Jesus, Landon Dickerson's uncertain future. Lane's not a lock to come back. What's the word with everybody? Because I know there's a lot of Eagles media and national media out there. What's going on out there with that?
Ton. In fact, the Lane Johnson was like early morning when we all got up here, and a lot of it basically is going back to not – see, a lot of people think Dickerson more the body breaking down on him.
Yep.
But the Lane Johnson, whether or not everything is kosher in there and he wants to go through a new – there's going to be a ton of new offensive coaches in that room now. I mean, he's going to have to come back and deal with a new offensive line coach, new run game coordinator, and I think there's some trepidation from Lane on whether he's willing to kind of do that another year. So that's kind of been more than the foot. Actually, he talked to Dr. Chow about the Liz Frank sprain and the fact that he never was able to come back. Does that suggest that it was maybe more than they thought? And he said that's a possibility, that this sprain, the way they didn't put him on the injured list, you would have thought he would have been able to come back by the Buffalo-Washington game. But the fact that he never came back at all tells him, now, again, he never treated him, but that injury might have been worse, and that could be something that he's dealing with if he needs surgery or not.
But it's a good point from Lane's perspective. If Stoutland's still there and they come back, there's nothing new. Now he's going to come in. He's going to learn a new offense. It's a whole new way that they run. It's a new offensive line coach. It's a new run game coordinator. It's a new tight ends coach. It's really like, outside of a couple guys that are sticking around, it's a completely new offensive coaching staff.
Yes, and the other point, John and Sean, is if Dickerson's not there either, let's say he decides, and then Lane goes out. Now you need possibly 2 offensive linemen, and, are you happy with what you got from Tyler Steen?
Right.
Are you happy with what you got with Cam Jurgens? I don't think they would get rid of Jurgens. Greg Cosell was on with us yesterday and said, on the tape, Jurgens was the worst center in football last year. And, is it just because of his back? Can he bounce back from that and become a serviceable center? I think they got a lot of questions about that. And does Lane want to go back through, as you just said, a new offense, learning that with a bunch of new guys?
I don't know. What have you been doing outside of the Radio Row and stuff like that? Did you party with A.J. Brown last night or anything?
Dude, I'm a grinder. I went out and got food and went to bed. I got up at 5 o'clock to get ready for today's show. We've been recording stuff. We did see A.J. Brown. No comment at us. Did see Donovan McNabb at dinner last night. He did talk to us for a little while. McNabb was down here. But no, we're just literally trying to do as much content as possible. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff. No, I literally have seen nothing. I haven't seen the baseball stadium. You got to do that. I haven't seen.
You went to a Sixers game though. That's something.
I did. I went Tuesday night Sixers. Beautiful arena. But other than that, last night we went to a place called the Golden Gate Tap House.
Ooh, I like that.
Had a little burger and a beer, and then went home. I was in bed by like 9 o'clock.
All right, so coming up, you said you had Blankenship and Coop, so you had the exciting whites on your show. You're airing it at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Wait, we were wondering if you have to ask Cooper DeJean about the whole, what's her name?
Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella.
She was here.
Did you ask him?
Did not ask him. I did ask him, is he more of a Margate Atlantic City guy or a Sea Isle Avalon guy? Because
great question.
One of my social media guys here works at the Deauville down the shore and has seen him there many times. And I have seen him in Margate a couple times. And he went with
Margate.
Sea Isle Avalon.
Really? Well, that means that he goes out all the time. If you're seeing him in Margate and other places.
Nobody was at more shore points than Cooper DeJean. Well, maybe Mike Gill was, but Coop was definitely up there last summer.
He shouted out memories in Margate with his spot in Margate. And then
awesome.
My guy on my social media team said he's seen him at the Deauville, and he did acknowledge yes. But he said he goes to Sea Isle a lot with Kelsey and everybody down there.
But Gil, you remember, because you're a Jersey Shore guy, back when it was the young Jason Kelsey, do you remember his crew that he used to roll with down in Sea Isle? I think he had Harriman's down there. Another Cooper. This one's name was Riley Cooper.
Oh, yeah. Connor
Riley
Barwin?
Cooper,
Was that a little later in life? I don't know if Connor was here from the Texans yet, but Connor is definitely a staple of the crew now.
Yeah.
Not
Riley Cooper anymore, though.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's not it.
Yeah.
No, he's out.
Yeah, he's out.
All right. Well, listen, because we're a little bit late here getting out, but enjoy the broadcast today, man. And are you coming home before the big game, or are you staying out there for it?
My flight is a red eye tonight, but I'm on standby, and apparently the flight's full, so I might have to sleep in the airport.
Ooh.
Well, have fun, man.
God bless you.
All right, Gil. Thanks, buddy.
Guys, appreciate it.
He's a grinder.
There he is, the
Love
grinder.
it.
Mike Gill.
Yeah, I did a red eye standby one time, and I'll never do that again. Nope. Hell no.
Why?
I got stuck in the airport. I spent all day, and they bump you, and then they're like, we'll get you in the next fight, and they bump you again, bump you. It happened in San Diego. Yeah, it was a terrible, and it was supposed to be a straight shot, and the next thing you know, I find myself in Vegas, picking up a flight from Vegas to come back here. Oh, it was brutal.
Coming up, YouTube chat recap, our predictions for the game, and a lot more. Middays with Marks. Ball predictions coming up in a second. Dave, some delicious Papa John's pizza out there, Ray. Make sure you grab it. I grabbed this slice of pepperoni.
Papa John's. I like Papa John's.
Yeah, it's good. Tastes really good. Sean was telling a story about how he ate like a whole pizza and
Last night.
yeah.
Scooped up a square pie from Costco, $10. But, I'm sorry to step on the Papa John's here. I didn't mean that.
No, it's delicious.
Good.
But Sean would eat the whole thing, and that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
And then he said that we talk about the GLPs and how people just take the shot and they lose weight. And Sean's like, he's still at a point where he feels like it's cheating or it's like not normal to take it.
I work out every day, and it's like, I'm trying. I want to do it the right way. I also don't are we so confident that these things have been around forever, right?
No.
Oh, they haven't.
No, I don't think there's any long-term data.
Yeah, so I'm a little concerned about that, right?
That's a fair thing.
I got a long life in front of me.
But what I think it is with a lot of people, it's like back when online dating, when Match first came out, wasn't something that people wanted to admit to doing, or it felt like that if you did that, you were unattractive or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, Sean, you weren't running out to get on Match.com to meet.
No.
To meet. But now.
Luckily, I missed that.
Me too.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, me too. But now, and like Ray, you won't know. You don't know anything else.
Ray, he's Mr. Bumble.
No. No girl's gonna say something first to me, man. I gotta go on the offensive here.
Nice.
Yeah, even there's still a little bit of it. It's become more of like a meta thing, of like a parody thing, and Hinge, the prompts will be like, let's come up with a fake story of how we met. Like, people still don't love to admit.
Oh, is that right?
Really?
There are people that will openly do it,
yeah, I know people
friends,
that met on Bumble.
Yeah.
It's 2026 people.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's doing it. It's just like the whole it was
we met online. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that.
Everyone wants a story.
They want the Cinderella story.
But it was back when, and he listens to the show a lot. Him and his wife met on Match, but it was back when it was like, who was the old guy that used to do the commercials where you fill out a profile and it takes 2 days for you to fill out the profile?
Oh, it was
eHarmony. Like, you just didn't go on and be like, I like the way he looks, and then you go meet up.
Yeah.
No, it was the whole profile, the personality profile, and you fill this out and you fill that out. There's no doing that with what Ray does, right?
No, God, no.
No,
Hinge is a lot easier than Tinder, just because Hinge you have actual prompts.
Tinder was the one that changed everything. That was the one that revolutionized the game, and it was about hooking up.
Yeah, and there's the take there. The whole idea that we met on Tinder thing. Did you?
Well, you can lie and say match.
I'm just saying, Tinder to me, I don't think there's a lot of people with very pure intentions. You know, everyone that's
you cast a wide net.
Agreed, but it became more acceptable among everybody that you can meet online and it's not unusual. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what I'm saying with the GLPs. At some point, it's going to hit you, and you're going to be like, it's totally normal. Everybody else is doing it.
It works. Just like Tinder. People were getting laid on Tinder.
I know.
It works.
I know.
Cast that net, Brace. Let's go.
It's not eHarmony. It's not eHarmony, Sean. GLPs are not eHarmony. They're Bumble. All right, let's get to the YouTube chat recap.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in? Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
Maxie and McCain is kind of like John in Miracle Whip, or Sean in Divorce Parties, or Ray and Siggs, or Joshua Harris in An Island. If Bayless from the YouTube chat.
I'll stay away from that.
I like that. Divorce parties. Hey, look, man, I'm not in the market for that, but I am in the market to be the DJ that holds it down in that category. So anybody throwing a divorce party, you need someone to spin some tunes, hit me up.
Sean has experience. Have you done Sweet 16s or kids parties?
No, but I will. I would play Taylor Swift. I mean, it's real easy. Nothing too crazy, right? Whatever you need. Kids parties. I can't make a bicycle out of balloons, all right? And don't call me a clown.
Does John have black pantyhose or a balaclava in his pocket? JM from the YouTube chat.
Why? Because of what I'm wearing right now?
What is going on there?
I'm getting
because you look like you robbed. Okay, I got it now.
I haven't been on the YouTube chat today, so I don't know what I look like.
You're all blacked out. You got your free Army Navy hat on.
The Army Navy
and you got
hat
a Fanatic.
I don't want to give away.
What is that? What is that? It's just a Fanatic shirt.
You know what happened?
What?
I bought something off of the site.
Yeah.
Whatever. How do you pronounce it?
Is that not Fanatics?
No, it's not Fanatics.
okay,
It's
all
the
right.
the Fabletics or
Fabletics.
Yeah.
Okay,
something
different
like that.
story. My
Yeah,
bad.
no, not Fanatics.
Okay, I was just like,
And if you don't watch
big
it,
fan of Michael Rubin, huh?
I still don't. No, and they're apologizing again this week because they screwed the Super Bowl fans. So you get signed up for this VIP thing without even knowing it, and then they just charge you $70 a month. But then you get credits for merchandise. But I don't want credits. If I want to buy something, I want to buy something.
Yeah.
So I canceled it. But I had to have it for a month because I bought something on there, a sweatsuit set, and all of a sudden they charged me $70. Like, what's this for?
Yo.
Yeah. So that's what this is from.
Okay, got it.
All of it.
Yeah, it looks fine. You're normal.
All right.
All right.
One second.
Brace and John, are you two kidding me asking the kid, has he been through changes? Of course he has. Like last night, once Kayla left, he changed. Then Samantha came over, and he changed again. Right, Ray?
Ray.
Godwood Spriggs from the YouTube chat.
Get it done. Ray, is it like that for you?
Yeah, of course. 100%. Yeah, everyone says radio producer is really the job you want for that.
Oh, come on.
There's nothing more sexier out there than play-by-play college
That's what
basketball.
I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
ESPN Plus.
Oh, man.
Plus.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Johnny looks like he's about to rappel from the ceiling in a jewelry store on 8th Avenue. MBD from the YouTube chat.
Oh, stick him up.
You know the story of the sales guy that went up to I won't mention his name, that went up to the place in Northeast Philly? They had two locations. One of their places got held up, and it was Halloween. And he went in, because if you're a sales rep, sometimes the managers will be like, here's pretzels, go take them around to your account and say hi.
Sure.
So he went to this jewelry store that just gotten robbed, and he went in with a pillowcase and a mask on. And they activated the security system, and all the gates came down. The police showed up.
Why is he wearing a mask?
Because it was Halloween.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
On Halloween, he went up and he had
You can't do that.
He wasn't thinking
What's
they
the
just got
matter?
hung up last week.
I wore a mask one time in a casino. That's frowned upon as well.
Oh, yeah,
don't do that. Remember the pink gorilla? Somebody bought me the pink gorilla and dared me to wear it. Next thing I'm running through Vegas casino, and they're like, "Yo, dude, no, take the mask off."
All right, one more quick.
Loved McCain, but the guy couldn't defend or rebound the ball. I think we overvalued the hell out of the guy. MJ from the YouTube chat.
Seattle 27, Patriots 13.
I'm right there with you. Double-digit victory. Give me the Seahawks. I'll be out live tomorrow, though, 1 to 4.
Okay.
Get a little bit more in detail. Prop Bowl. I got a great guest, including Julian Edlow. He's going to join me at 3 o'clock. Join in.
All right. Now, Ray is going to be down in Atlantic City for the pregame, so I'm not going to ask you your prediction, Ray. But Ray and Connor, they're doing pregame leading up to kickoff. They'll be at Caesars in Atlantic City with a big party that's going on. You can join them. Just go to the events page at 975thefanatic.com.
Yeah, and I'll be posting about it, I'm sure, all weekend.
Yeah, just follow. You can find Ray.
Can I still answer those questions and send them to you?
Yeah, I might do an Ask Me Anything over the weekend. If I get bored with the beer in front of me, yeah, probably.
Wait a minute.
Do you have questions for him?
No, he needs us to do it for his show on Sunday. Remember the 3 questions?
Oh, yeah, the 3 questions. Yeah, I do need you to do that.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's
I'm
a good
on.
point. Yeah,
All
thanks.
right,
I
well, go
appreciate
do
that.
it.
All right.
I got to go get my hair cut.
I don't have hair.
All right, there you go. All right,
I got to go
everybody,
party, though.
Unfiltered with Ricky and Bill are coming up next. See you.
Now on